Okay. All right, good evening, everybody. Today is June 12th. This is the 6 o'clock meeting of the Town of Berlin Golf Commission. We rise to the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right, just mark them between them. All right. So, present today are Commissioner LeBrie, Commissioner Green, Commissioner Berger, Commissioner Richards, Commissioner Norton, Commissioner Senya, and Commissioner Shirley. And we have with us, our Director of Golf, Saul Guerrero, and Town Manager, Ryan Curley, and Doug Smith is the architect. So Doug, I hate to put you on the spot like this, but you look a big boy, you can take care. So what we're gonna do is have you present, if you don't mind, the final product.
Okay.
All right, and talk about it. Consult, can you pull it up on the screen and all, and and kind of give us a little background.
Yeah.
And then, kind of walk us through this thing, if that's all right.
You wanna go hole by hole and just kind of talk about each hole real
I
quick?
think, you know what,
Yeah.
why don't we start with overall, the overall process, and then we'll go hole by hole, and we can have an open concept at that point in time.
Yeah, we'll do the hole by hole pretty quickly too.
Yeah.
If there's too many questions, we can be here all freaking night, you know?
Well,
And some of these
Go ahead.
bids, little changes can happen once we're out there. And they always do. You see every golf architect's pose, they're like this, out in the field, and that means change something. It happens. It's not a perfect science. This is not engineering at all.
Okay,
And we have all the unit prices and all that stuff in there to handle it and to keep it on or below budget as we go. So again, it's not like building a house where we're missing a window here, that can't happen, but in golf it can,
602 Mark Ram, just walking through the door.
Sorry.
Okay, you know Ryan?
Yes.
Okay, and Doug Smith.
Yeah, how's it going?
All right, so time out, just gotta back up a little bit.
Yeah,
I look at this as change orders. Anytime we did a change order in a house, when we built my house.
yeah, no,
That's we're trying to get this thing nailed down as much.
100%. I'm not into change orders at all. Those are completely to be avoided. But there's trade-offs. If we're a little bit more less on sod, maybe a little bit more on pipe, and it's just the way it happens out there. I'm suggesting that we get a reputable golf course contractor that I know everything will work out just fine. There's always a little bit of trade-offs, but it does work out. Your biggest problem is that your bunkers are underwater and they're terrible. For some reason, I mean, these have liners. Yeah, I think it's all those liners we're putting are just clogging everything up. That's your biggest problem. It's not really so much that they're all misplaced or anything like that. It's the function. It's terrible. Right? I mean, the people aren't coming back because the bunkers are awful. The golf course is in really good shape, and it's a strong bones golf course. What we want to do is, number one priority is increase the functionality of these bunkers by draining them properly. You get a 2-inch rain, you should be having an outing the next day at this golf course. It's that simple. No more of this other stuff. Number two, I think when we were going over this, you don't want to just go in and just do a vanilla rebuild, redo. You want to do a couple of things here and there to pop the golf course up one little notch. Say B+ to A-, that type of thing, which I think we've spotted with your 16 and 18. I mean, those are finishing holes that people talk about when they're done with golf. We typically go for the little extra on the ending holes, because people tend to remember that more and come back there for it. They'll talk about it when they're in the bar having a beer. Oh, I just got a par that new 16th hole. That looks so much better. Plus, you can see it from the parking lot. It's your advertising hole. So we decided to do a little bit of that to give a couple holes a little more pizzazz. No, nothing really on the front. Nothing really up until 16. I don't think we really bought nuts. I think everything else is pretty much, where it was. Yes, overall, I think we're definitely reducing the number of bunkers by a little bit. Correct.
especially the square footage.
And it's the square footage that's big time. And also, when we bid this out, if I told the contractor to rebuild every bunker from scratch, forget about the shape of it. They're gonna charge you more money. A lot of your bunkers are actually pretty darn good. And they're shaped pretty well. You really just need to come in, strip as little sod as you can. Remove all of the bunker liners that are in there and redo all the drainage inside the bunker. Outside the bunker, we're gonna try and save a few of those gravel sumps that we have to tie into them to save some money. The way it's been allocated, if, yeah, hopefully there'll be more than we can, that we will be able to use than less. But it's like $500, you know, if you have to like redo that little part of it, it's not that big of a deal. But if you just have to go in there and just kind of just take the sand out, take the blankets out. Put in some new, you know, which we are gonna do, all new perforated pipe in these bunkers. With no more liners to clog them up and do the which one are we doing, the building on the
Concrete.
capillary concrete. They're gonna be awesome. They're gonna work. We're gonna vent them on the top of the bunker. So if you're facing the green and there's a bunker over here on the right, we're gonna put a vent on the top of the bunker. And then a vent on the bottom of the bunker, and then a vent where the overflow is, you know, where it drains out. So the air will always be in the system. Picture like a tomato soup can. All right, you always put, you know, you always do, if you have to use the old fashioned can opener. If you just do one vent, so just one, it'll go blug, and go out slowly. So we do the other side, it releases the water. Have two exits, so that's why we do the vent at the top of the bunker too. So when it gets to the bottom vent, it's properly airflowed and we'll zoom out as fast as possible, this water. I would tell you, if you have some bad bunkers, I would bet if you just dug down, literally went in the next rainstorm and dug a hole. And put, and left it open where that bunker blanket is and cracked the bunker blanket. And opened up that, there's gravel in the pipe there, just open it up, I guarantee that bunker would probably drain just fine. So I think it's really just, they're just clogged because of the construction methods used by the last contractor, which.
We'll find out when we open them up.
So we're gonna test we're gonna test every bunker before we even do it. We're gonna put the hose, blast it in the top of the top vent and
That's what you find out.
chase the water, see where it goes. If it doesn't go anywhere and it just starts filling up the bunker, it's clogged. Okay, then we'll get rid of that, we'll test it again and make sure it's going out, then we'll go out and make sure it goes to this gravel sump at the end, which is the overflow. That's always lower than the bottom of the bunker. So anytime the water would build up in the bunker, it'll come out that vent. I mean, that catch basin, not back up into the bunker. So functionality is huge, that will completely be 100%. You know, handled and guaranteed. By the contractor. You won't have any more puddles in your bunker.
Good. The other part of this whole thing, you know, and I believe you. We get it, is maintainability, because.
Yeah.
We can't maintain what we have now. But let's just call it what it is, right?
Yeah, you can't be washing it, you know.
Well, not only that, with maintenance crew that we have now, it's not like they get raked every day, or.
Of course.
You know, if they get it once a week, maybe you're, you know, that's probably not the extent of it, but. The upkeep of this thing is gonna be the other piece of this,
Yes.
that has to be taken into account.
Well, we've reduced the square footage for sure, so the maintenance will be less, not more. That's another guarantee. But you know, what that percentage is, I'll run the numbers again, but we kind of did that whole spreadsheet stuff at the beginning. So I can look at that for you, but it is less.
But that also starts with the new system, the concrete, the capillary concrete system will uphold these bunkers a little bit better, Dale.
No more washout,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
So
and that's really the key, cause.
Oh, you get a 1-inch rainstorm in these bunkers and.
you can use it the next
And you
day.
got the whole crew in there, you know, out there for the whole day trying to fix them up. No more of that. No more of that. When you're a public golf course, they're not expected to be, you know, super private looking and raked every day. You know, there's.
We understand that, but you know, once or twice a week is, you know. The other part is maintenance, basically on our part as
I
players,
understand.
right? And that's just the way it is, but. You know, I was at the farms and you know, I talked to them about same type of capillaries, the billy bunkers, right? And with long. And they just handled 5 inches of rain without, and it was like, I said, first of all, we wouldn't be open the next day, but the fairways were flooded. but the bunkers were fine.
That's correct.
So, I mean,
Stuff's great.
it was capillary.
And you're gonna be paying for it, you know, it's not cheap to put that stuff in.
Yeah, but you do it
But
once.
you have to do
right,
it, you almost have no choice.
That's
I'm
correct.
sorry, but I wouldn't even be part of this if you weren't gonna do it. That's pretty much where we are as golf course architects. We're super busy and there's a lot of work going on and, you know, we're getting a little cocky, but we want what's best for you and what's best is that. You know, so and it might cost you an extra 1,000 a bunker or whatever it does to put that in. Versus something else, but it's worth every penny.
Yeah, we're all, listen, I think we're all the same thing, that do it right, do it once
And right. And going back to do it right, do it once, that's another thing in this bid. There was that, you know, I did give the two options, which I would rather not done. Because you should do it all at once.
Once. We truthfully, in our recommendation, and well, and I don't want words everybody's mouth, but
Yeah.
listen. Do it right, do it once, and it's done.
Thank you.
Otherwise, to go piecemeal, it's done.
Thank you,
And
and
it
it's
costs-
cheaper to do it that way too.
Right, if you do it over a couple of years, it's gonna cost you more, you have to set up every time, and it's stop, just do it. You
Yeah,
know, what do we, and so we have to start thinking long term like this. What are you gonna do and how are you gonna implement this thing and what is your completion schedule? Are you gonna close down holes, like 2 or 3 holes at a time? I mean, that's how you think about this with temporary greens, I mean, the whole 9 yards, I mean, this
that's a
is.
good point, I mean, that's
That's way
definitely,
down, that's down the road,
that's
but
down the road, but it's okay to
it's
talk
gotta
about
be the
now.
plan, you have to start thinking this thing through.
Yeah, you know, for sure, I mean, you can only put this capillary concrete in. Has to be above 40 degrees to put it in, I mean, there's certain,
Well, they'll put they can put antifreeze in there too, but that's,
they can, or higher, yeah, oh, for sure.
you know, and that's what they'll do, they'll put antifreeze
They
in there for the
will.
winter, right? I mean, it's just. But does that have a long-term effect on what we're trying to do?
No.
So. You have options.
You do. Oh, we're also getting, I mean, just to be perfectly candid, we're getting a little late in the game here for a contractor too. I mean, these guys are all super busy. So I'm not sure if I can get you 3 or 4 bids at this point to get this done right away. I mean, I'm just being as honest as I can, just without talking to these.
Well, that's the public bid, right? So that doesn't go through you. That's a public bidding process.
Yeah, but I basically will get you,
Oh, sorry,
I'll get you
misunderstood.
these contractors to bid it, because they are golf guys.
Yeah.
He knows who would.
Yeah, I'm not gonna let some you know, landscape company that handles office parks do this. No thanks.
All right. So if you ever remind us, just do it all, do it once and do it
Do
right.
it all, so that's a good, that's the right answer.
Good, all right. It's yours.
Alright, so, I mean, does anybody else have any other general questions?
Have you,
Before we-
I have.
have you shared, Saul, have you shared any of our comments with him?
Yeah, I did, but that's why I came, I'm like, you know what, you got a bunch of questions, I don't mind coming over.
Dude.
I'm doing the right thing by being here for free, so. We'll go over each question if you want.
I would just say, is this a relatively new process in capillaries?
You're relatively new, yeah, 4 or 5 years old.
So we don't really know, I guess, 10, 20 years down the road. Kind of how this would,
Not really, but it's definitely the best method out there, and the 10, typically these bunkers would need to be redone every 8 to 10 years. You know, with either nothing underneath or with the liners, but with this, people are thinking that they'll have double. Pretty much, that's 6%.
I got a question.
Yeah.
How do you come up with the new square footage for each bunker? Is there a process? Is there?
Yeah, I mean, it's all measured in the computer.
Oh, and
It's all
what's
square, it's all
the
measured.
goal when you're doing that?
Well, the goal is, it has to do with a lot of factors. It's not just to make them smaller or bigger, you know, you'll see as we go, I'll explain a couple reasons why we're doing what we're doing. So you can see in this one on number 1, let's look at the first bunker, you see where it says CB on the top, and there's like a little dot, that's the top vent. And a CB at the bottom, that's the bottom vent. It's all.
Yeah, let me go, sorry.
So each bunker that you'll see here has a designation of whether we're gonna tie it in, whether we're, you know, to existing drainage, or whether we're gonna put new drainage in. It gives you the estimation of sod that we're gonna put around it.
What do these vents look like? Are they grates in the?
Yeah, they're just little 4-inch.
I
They're up there now.
haven't noticed.
Yeah,
them.
if you make them, I'm in the belief that if you make them too small sometimes, you kinda can lose them.
Yeah,
You know, which is, you know, and that's another reason why things get clogged up, is because you lose them. So sometimes, you know, like the end vents where we're gonna do the sumps where the water will bubble out, those will be 12 inches. You know, which will be really, really good.
So there's two bunkers on the right, it's gonna become one.
Yes, I think it's just to make it easier,
Yeah.
actually, you know what I mean? I mean, squeezing two bunkers, there's so much going on and mowing and. Two in one, you go in, you get it and you go out.
Mm.
It's just actually easier. To make those two into one. The one on the left is pretty simple, that's kind of, you know, redesign in place. Now, I think one of your questions was, you know, where you did remove some of these bunkers in the past.
Yeah.
I think one of your questions was, what do we do with them? You just leave it like that, was that one of your questions?
There's one of them, if we have somebody out there, let's just do it all. You know what I mean?
Because
Because there was a waste bunker there and they filled it in and it's just overgrown. I mean, it's just.
And it doesn't look-
And you walk the course.
does it, yes, but do you
Okay.
think it looks like an old bunker was there and it got abandoned?
Yeah.
Then you need to resolve the whole thing and just go in there and gently shape it out. So it has a little bit of flavor, but doesn't look like an old bunker that was left behind. That's what we'll do with it. So we'll allocate a little more sod for that, which isn't that big of a deal. Because honestly, I overdo my sod numbers a lot of times on these jobs, so I'd rather do it that way than underdo it. For example, if we're gonna rebuild a bunker completely in place, I'll allocate like a little over 1,000 square feet for that. But if we can just get away with taking out 3 strips on the edges and putting back 3 strips, well, that might be only 300. We just saved on that sod. But, it all depends. It all depends where we're at.
You have removed, like, up on the top left.
Yeah,
It's removed. I mean, there's nothing up there, right there. That was, right?
it says removed. Yeah, you guys, those were bunkers.
Oh, those were, so you're working off old plans, is that what?
No, I think these are new plans. These are all brand new.
He's just showing you what.
I just indicated where it was. It's in the past. It's been removed.
No.
We're not removing it, it's removed.
Yeah, it is, it's gone, right?
Yeah,
You go for a move.
You
Got
can
it.
see the dents, with the.
No, never mind. I'll look at the other. Got it.
So they're not there. They
No.
were already removed.
Got it.
If it wasn't, I would say removed. So that's just an indication of what was there. But it's a good question. If those look like crap.
One of them is off the left side.
The-
fine.
the right
Left
one.
side, the right side off.
So then the right one, we'll make that change for sure. That's totally within reason. Yeah, keep moving. Two is a great hole. The bunkers are fine. The bunkers function well. I mean, the size is good. They have a nice shape to them and all that stuff. I'm really not saying to do much with that except just rebuild them right in place.
So you're not doing anything with the tree line, any,
No,
that stuff?
you can do whatever you want with those trees. Believe me, you wanna take a whole bunch out, I'll help you take a whole bunch out.
That help you?
But I just,
Not me, I don't.
Project, I'd rather keep
Today,
the politics of trees out of it.
You have to be careful. what you do.
I'd rather keep the politics of tree removal, tree pruning, tree anything out of it, just in case you have somebody that's really against it and it slows down the bunkers.
Yeah,
And delays that by a whole year for some stupid reason.
That bunker that's green side on the left there.
Yeah.
That's probably in the worst condition out of most of them.
Okay.
So, I don't know what the plan is for that one, I mean, it's gotta be there, it shapes the green.
It's probably just ever get any sun.
Well, that's why we took that big tree
Yeah,
off.
so, we'll get all new sod, all new drainage, all new everything, it'll be just fine.
You'll test it just like every bunker, right? See how it is.
No, I guarantee it'll look awesome on the side.
The Jimmy's bunker.
No, but it doesn't have to be that big, do it?
I can shrink them, that's another thing
I
too.
would think it's.
It's another thing too, in general, a lot of your bunkers do fit the scale of the golf course. A lot of your holes are wide open, without trees. So if you start doing bunkers too small and wide open spaces, it starts looking a bit out of scale. It's like somebody wearing a shirt that's too tight, and it's just, it's a bit off. Nothing for you. So,
That's small.
yeah, so we're good.
Yeah.
Let's keep going while we can.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a perfect example. We're gonna take the one, is the bunker on the right?
No, it's not
there.
But it's
No, it's not.
like,
It looks like it was there.
Yeah.
I wanna connect that fairway. And you can see on the right, so it doesn't look like it was there. That looks dumb.
5 yards
Yeah,
wide.
it's only narrowed in,
It
right?
converges into itself like there's like an old bunker there. It looks like you guys were lazy and just dumped it and left it.
They did,
That'd be great.
they did.
Yeah, so that's gonna change. I want that regraded so it's smooth and all new grass, fairway grass.
There, it says add fairway sod, right?
Yeah, so it's 3,000 square feet of fairway sod, so, $1.50 each, it's worth it. It's totally worth that. Cause if now we didn't do that, every time you go to that bunker, every time you be on that tee, you'd be like, that's all you would notice. Yes, and then we're gonna twist the one on the left now. It was okay when they were both like this and like this. But now we're just gonna take that one and rotate it. So when you're in the
I know
bunker
what you're saying.
and the green's over there, now you're heading out of the bunker towards green. It's
It's
basically,
supposed to be a longer bunker
it's
than,
gonna point you right at the green.
no lip.
Yeah, with no big lip.
Good.
And with no big lip. Before, the strategy of having two there to pinch for the 8th player was tough. Now we're just down to one. Let's just make it a little bit easier for everybody. And aim it right at the green and get the heck out. You're out of there with whatever club you want to hit in each end of the bunker. Right now, you could probably only hit a wedge out of there.
That's what you need to.
So we're,
Able to see it from the tee.
yes, well, we won't be able to see it from the tee, but we're increasing the functionality and the speed of play by changing, by flipping that one.
It's gonna be a bigger fairway now
Yeah.
with the bunker this week.
Yes, okay. Alright, here's one where we're shrinking that whole front bunker. That's gonna be probably half the size,
That's for the women.
probably half the size. You don't need it that big, it's just too much. It's a completely 100% blocked green.
Yes.
So let's not block 100%, let's block less percent. So that's the only reason why we're doing that one. The one on the left and the one on the right are fine.
So it will have a bigger opening on the left and right.
Yes, both sides. Yeah, we're gonna shrink the whole thing.
Oh, really? Okay, so you're,
We're just gonna,
got it.
we're gonna cave in the sides, basically.
Looks like the right side doesn't.
Smaller and you go up and so underneath.
Are you still gonna keep the big front? Doug, the high front, you're gonna keep that high front there?
Yes, we're gonna keep that, yeah,
Okay.
for sure. Yeah, you have to have a little drama and see how it takes. Yes.
With that and the forward tees, hopefully that gets you to the green.
Well, that's, yeah.
If you're in these bunkers, you can see the whole green, that's fine. I'm not dropping it down too low.
You have all different sorts of players, right?
Yeah, of course.
Got it.
Alright. Yeah, this one, we're just simply removing the right bunker, just to save. some time.
5F1?
Yeah,
So that'll be sod,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so,
we're just taking it out.
well, so long as you're there, if you go by 5G.
I know, Mr. Richards, you
Yeah.
asked, right?
Well, I had a question of, why are we removing that?
The F1.
Yeah, the five.
I think in the big picture, to reduce the amount of bunkers and to reduce the amount of square footage overall, to make this not as difficult to maintain. A couple holes, like we saw on 16 and 18, we're gonna kind of pump that up, but a couple holes, we're gonna pump down a little bit.
I
It's in
mean,
general.
I'm just giving you my personal view. I think that bunker is good because it gives you all kind of a forced carry. Visually, it kind of shapes the hole, in my opinion.
Okay.
Like where you have them on each side, it's a dog leg, so it gives you kind of a corner to go over.
Yeah,
Now it's just grass, people are just gonna run it through there. I mean, that's just my opinion.
okay.
Probably on the bunker, you can probably dig out under that one.
So ratings are very random. It depends on what rating committee you get. Your ratings depend a ton on the height of the rough, believe it or not. You say you mow the rough at 3 inches versus 2 inches, you make it 6 points higher. If you can prove that your maintenance generally does that. So ratings are very fickle. But no, nothing like, something to do with rating, if you filled in a creek, you might, piped in a creek, that would definitely hurt the rating.
Or that was,
This, not really.
or the F5F1,
Yeah,
that is to the right side, right? And
Yeah.
that's where the sod is bad anyways, in that
We were
area, right?
thinking you
There's
resawed there.
We saw that,
oh, yeah.
There's no irrigation over
Because
there.
there's no.
because there's no irrigation,
grass
Yeah.
there.
but we tried to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as long as you're there, you can find up at 5G up on top to the top left,
Yeah,
right?
Can
Now,
we-
they try to rebuild, they knock stuff down and,
trees and stuff over
Those
there.
yeah,
trees
it's
are-
it's awful, it's awful, and it's just. It's gotta get done, and that happened last year, and it's still not there, right? And it's just,
But it's,
That bunker money
they
brings a lot
put a
of
little.
Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Put dirt in there, but nothing's growing in there,
No.
so,
Not
you know, we
yet.
gotta figure out, how do we get the, that has to be playable, that's part of the course, right? I mean, so that,
Well, just
Sod,
get, we get some
25.
topsoil and some sod in there and we'll
That's
fix it all.
now, are you touching any of the sprinklers, are you touching any?
We're trying not to. I have a designation per, per sprinkler head if we have to add some or change some. There's definitely money in there to do that.
If there's money in there to do it, what would it take to do? Over on the, basically on the left over there and then on the right hand side.
Yeah, we can do that. We can add a couple heads.
Doug, what's your opinion? I mean, I'm just gonna talk playability, the left hand side bunker. That's a very tight, narrow angle if you're pin high, looks like that black dot's the pin.
Right.
And it's all downhill from there. I mean, I think from playability, I don't think that makes sense for the player.
A bigger
Very
bunker?
tough shot, yeah, that, to me, that's, you're
Okay.
pin high, that's a very narrow green, and it's all sloping towards the 60.
All right, we'll note that. I mean,
I
like I
mean, I
said.
don't know your opinion of that.
No,
but-
it's something I'd like to talk about out in the field. I mean, we haven't met as a giant committee to do the whole design strategy, so. I don't mind making a couple of changes like that, and you can do a couple of that in the field, even if the bid goes through, that's what I was saying in the beginning. We decided as a group that we're gonna keep that bunker small instead of that size. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm not a dictator here.
I just know all the people in here who couldn't get that up and down.
Okay, fair enough.
No offense. Maybe Ryan. did.
It's The bunker does float away from the green a little bit too,
It's just that is all downhill sloping to the 6
Okay.
T, and it's narrow, so you don't have much landing room.
Okay,
Depending on how high the lip is too, I don't know how that would be, it's a difficult shot.
alright. Okay,
I got some.
okay.
That's just mine.
We'll start at the first half of 6 here.
Yeah, here we're just taking the first bunker out. That's all. I don't think this changes much with that one.
With,
Number 6.
there's no first bunker down there.
That one.
It was.
Yeah.
that one's gone.
Oh, that's removed? Oh, you're right. Okay, it does it. I just didn't color it in. Okay. So then the two that were, they're gonna stay kind of where they are. They're nice bunkers. But up at the green, you have a beautiful green complex. It just looks like something went,
Hold on, so go back, right after the bunker.
yeah,
Up there to the left, 6F1,
yes.
it's all, and I don't know whether it's just because of the maintenance guys go through there, it's like. It's all dirt, right? And there's no irrigation up there, it's like hitting off of gravel,
Okay.
so.
Is
I
there
mean,
no
you gotta
irrigation?
think about what.
No, well, we've started to clear trees out, so it's, we could do some sodding there
Yeah,
probably.
yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense.
Around these bunkers, we were having to check, see if we have to re-sod, how much sod each bunker gets. Like you said, some may just need 3 strips, but some might need more,
Yeah,
like on 5 or 6, where there was no, grass right
yeah,
now.
I have full confidence that we'll balance out that side,
Yeah.
not a problem.
That's why we started taking trees out of that area, cause you see right now, it's a lot of rocks and like, I don't know if it's acorns or but the stuff from the trees, so. We have to clear that area.
There's a few, roots there too.
Yeah.
But like I said,
Yeah.
there's no water there, the irrigation, you gotta get it wet
I
there.
think if you're gonna do sod, you need to make sure there's irrigation there.
Yeah.
It's like throwing money away.
That seems pretty close to the fairway.
Mhm.
It doesn't make any sense, but. I mean,
Well, I don't know where the irrigation is, but I think.
that,
it's
I can
something
see that
to
there,
consider.
I can see the bare spot on the top of that left
Yeah.
bunker.
Yeah, it's
Well,
very
It
dry.
looks like the water should hit it,
Yeah.
quite honestly, I mean.
But that looks good compared
Those
to
had
what it
to
is.
throw 75 feet,
But there are a lot of trees there,
So,
that was sucking all the water.
Right.
That's the thing, I think with the trees down and the new sod. Then he can, overwater it if he has
Overwater,
yeah.
to establish the turf.
Right.
He's
Then-
not
then
finding
you should be good.
for the water now.
Plus we'll get a little fresh topsoil in there underneath, fertilize it, heck out of it before
Yeah.
before the sod goes there.
If you're looking to reduce the number of bunkers, I would say 6-F2. Cause you got the trees.
I think F2 plays for a different, like,
Yeah,
like the
You got-
ones who's playing blues and blacks. I think that bunker is for those players. Where if there's no bunker there, they're just gonna go
Yeah.
aim right.
That's right.
It's not even a thousand,
Yeah.
it's not even a thousand, it's not even 1,000 square feet either, it's only, I think it says 7 or something.
If anything, the lip on.
Yeah, it's not a big bunker, right?
That's high.
If anything, the lip on that.
It's very high.
It's a little
Yeah, we'll
high
play with that.
for the average player.
We'll play with that.
Yeah.
Now, up by the green, this is a pretty cool hole, and it's just kind of lost its definition.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're just gonna, you can see where the old bunker used to be, it used to be a big giant bunker, right? I think if we just plug in 2 bunkers, see those black lines in those bunkers? That's the old bunker. That'll be the new bottom of each bunker, it'll be 2 small bunkers just up by the green. There'll be a ton of grass to the right. You're gonna put, there's a lot of, look at all the sod, there's 4,000 square feet of sod for that, to clean it all up. So we're gonna kind of get rid of the old bunker shape, put in 2 kind of pot bunkers, and it'll function just fine. And look nice too.
There'll be grass between them. How
Yeah,
far
grass
that area.
A good 20 feet.
Yeah.
You have, this is a big scale, this really opens up. This is your first green that really opens up on the
Remember
front
that
nine.
bunker's big, longest.
Yeah, the bunker was massive.
40.
Yeah, you don't,
Oh, yeah.
that's too big, I don't wanna bring that back,
Yeah.
but you gotta do something, cause it looks blah. You know, it's less,
It's
less
just that
of,
one on the edge and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's there, though, that's actually, you know, where the bunker was, so it's actually gonna be pretty easy to do. But we're not reinventing the wheel. And actually, here, I'll give you another note. If you look up here, I did this thing at the green. Where it says note possible fill generation here. I can steal some, you know, if we're gonna make some of those bunkers smaller. This is where I can steal some fill too, I can steal
Yeah.
some dirt and then run it. You know,
You're not using the same sand, are you?
no,
Okay.
no, you got all your sand's gone.
Around those 2 bunkers, I think from reducing it once before.
Yeah.
The ground there seems really contrived, it doesn't, you know, seem to flow.
Yeah, I wanna make it just a natural, pretty slope
Yeah. that-
going down.
that
I
would be
think to
my
do that,
suggestion.
I might be able to steal some free fill that I
Yeah.
have to pay for to move, but that's it. To make some of your bunkers that are bigger, smaller. And I'm gonna need some decent dirt, and I don't wanna go have someone truck it in, or pay that way. Alright, yeah, we can go on the next one. There's nothing wrong with this hole. You know, I remember bunker wise, it's tough. It's a tough hole, and I remember being here when I coached in college too, and one of my teams had a match here. And a lot of the golfers went over. A lot of the top golfers, I was surprised, I sat behind this hole. And I watched them play, and I swear to God, one in every group went over that green.
It's hard to hold it from.
And it's tough going back towards the next tee, there's a couple of trees back there, and everyone's like,
Oh,
oh,
the green
it's
kind of
tough.
runs away from you. a
Yeah,
little bit.
it's a tough hole. But
So-
it's pretty, it's nice, and I wouldn't really change it, I keep it as a tough hole. There's nothing wrong with having a zinger out there, you know? It is.
But you're still gonna maybe remodel, re-contour, see how they are.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit, but not much.
What are your
In-
thoughts
in-
on this? Sorry to interrupt. A lot of balls go left, they go down into the woods.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the bunker in the back left?
That's the other thing, yeah.
That's interesting.
Like where
I'm
Mark,
just saying a lot of.
That's
it's bare over there.
a helping bunker.
Right.
Yeah, it's a helping bunker
Yeah.
because it's pretty much hard in
Okay.
there anyway.
Yeah, we can check that
And it
out.
just all goes into the woods thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
what do you call it, helping Mark?
Yeah, I like that.
If you fly that green, you're going down that. You're going
Right.
into the woods.
You're
You're
talking
right,
down.
you hit a pole or a hot hook, I mean,
Right,
it goes
yeah.
over the first one, it's gone. It's almost like you
Yeah.
can't hold it, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Alright.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah.
First of all, there's a water problem down there.
Yeah.
It's big, and you need to fix that. We
Okay.
put money in there to fix that. You can see all the pipes. Look at all that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That 8G2, that side of that bunker, I think it could just take that bunker completely out.
You're just gonna have a front left one.
But what, because
You're just gonna have this
No,
one.
no, we're just gonna have just one bunker in the front. That's it.
Right there.
That's it. You don't need anything in the back. It's all gonna be grass and pretty and good shape and just fine. You don't need that bunker back there.
Make a collection area.
Yeah.
But you can see all those catch basins where it says CV, that's a vent, you know. Gonna suck the water out and get it the heck out of there. If, I remember one time, Tom Fazio, if you played his courses. They're really dramatic, there's undulations everywhere, and low points everywhere on a flat golf course. my, Stephen K, who I used to work with, or still do actually, we counted one time it was 80 catch basins on one hole. One hole. So to put catch basins, you don't really notice them, and if your ball lands on them, it's actually an advantage because you get to move it. Put it in a better one, so who cares?
Yeah.
It's fine, we gotta dry this thing up and once and for all, you know?
That, the 8F1, it is high in the front there,
Yeah, yeah,
it is very high.
It is.
I mean, I know, cause I play.
I can mellow that down.
I play out there a lot. Oh, it's high, it's high. So hitting from the right feet and catching down in that area.
That makes sense.
Today I was playing and I caught down in that area. Yeah, when you get down there, because you're looking up at this,
For sure.
you gotta really come at the ball.
Right.
To get it up out of there,
Well,
yeah.
the good news is you don't have a 6-iron or something coming out of there, so that's good,
Right.
but,
That's a problem he does.
yeah.
You know, sometimes.
Catch basins, right? So
Yeah.
you have your. Now,
Well, there's vents
is
and
that
catch
tied
basins,
into
so-
something? Is that tied into piping? Because you have a lake over there and if you have irrigation and.
All
fertilizer
this-
Going in, down into that.
All of this is where it says sump, everything's going to there. We're draining all 3 bunkers, the whole fairway, all draining it to right. To the left, right there.
Got it.
It's a
Alright,
dead
so you
zone.
dig a hole or
It's a
something like
dead,
that?
yeah, we're digging a deep hole, it's a dead zone.
Got it.
So if
Got it.
everything's
Alright.
gonna go to there, and then if that overflows and gets a little wet. Well, that's okay, cause you're still playing, you still have your outing the next day. You're still moving on. You know, that one little area might take a little bit longer to dry, cause it might be overflowing a little bit, but you have to do it that way. The topo suggests that.
Could you have an overflow? An overflow one in there too?
That kinda is the overflow.
Oh, that is the
It's built to overflow,
Got it. Alright.
it's built to overflow. Cause you'd rather that overflow than your bunkers holding the water.
I'm talking about in the
And your
fairway.
drain- and your
In the
fairway.
fairway right
No,
now.
all
it's
your
just-
fairways getting out of there, everything's heading to that one spot, that one spot. So that's where
And that
you're.
could handle, what is that gonna build, what is that, you're gonna build that to handle, how much water, basically? Cause that's all running, everything's running down there, right?
Of course, yeah, it's a lot of
There's a
water.
lot.
It's not a perfect situation, nothing is with drainage, but. As far as draining, draining your fairway and your bunkers, that's kind of what we're most, the focus is on.
So what is 8G1 gonna look like?
Like right here.
It'll probably look, it'll still look like the other bunkers.
Right,
yeah.
I'm not gonna make it look that much different, it's gonna have the same general movement.
Well,
It's gonna be smaller?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah,
Small.
it's gonna be really small.
Black part of that, he's gonna make, how many inches of rain can it handle without being a problem?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Rough, just, you know what?
If you get 2 or 3 inch rainstorm, you should be able to have an outing the next day with 2 inches, let's just say.
That's it.
I'm talking about close it down, not close it down the course.
Yeah, hey, that's
nothing.
Yeah,
Close down the course, it's like, okay, there's no,
quite honestly,
no carts, and then,
But,
there's a.
the worst thing in the world to do is to cancel an outing because of rain.
Yeah.
That's terrible on your ledger, that doesn't look good at all. So a lot of times your question comes back to outings first, if you have 7 outings and 5 get rained out, that only maybe one of them could have gotten rained out because of your new system, you just made so much money. You didn't lose as much money, probably a better way to put it.
You should be able to take a hose and wash your bunker out and the sand doesn't move.
And car paths too, and that's what we do with carpet, car paths are big for outings too. A lot of times, if you can't get the carts out there for an outing, your outing is not happening.
Yes.
So that's another thing, it's not just the bunkers, it's the cart paths that you need to get 140 people out there. Or whatever big your outings are.
180.
Oh, God. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Or one shotgun.
That's a lot. But yeah, you cancel 180 people just because of drainage and cart paths, and that doesn't look good.
I would just say the biggest thing with the bunkers, is the amount of time they take to fix them.
Yeah,
It takes away from other things they could probably be doing,
that's 100% right.
so it's like, and they get one.
That'll all change.
Yeah.
for
I
sure.
think so.
Anything else on 8?
No.
No.
But I will say on 8, I mean, that's the first hole we hit where we have an excessive drainage situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you can't have one without the other, and we've only hit it on one. Watch really one hole on the whole front 9 where we put drainage in. We did a little bit on the first par 3. We put a little bit extra there, where we're shrinking that bunker in the middle, that gets a little wet in there, so we have a little extra damage there. But we're not doing bad.
And number
It's still a
nine,
bunker project, even though we're starting to add a little bit of drainage, you know?
and number nine on the right side, there's something living in the hole.
Yeah.
You gotta get that guy out of there. No, you gotta get it out. Yeah, he's still in there.
Somebody kid in there. I don't know, is it a fox or something like that? I don't know.
I know, something that's in there.
Nine's a pretty hole, it's a nice hole, the bunker's up by the green, have a nice shape, I don't wanna do anything with this one, this one's just fine.
Well, they also did work up on top. You know, remove the trees,
Some
so you need more sod
Right
up
over
there.
here.
That's fine, and if you wanna keep removing trees, go ahead.
Don't say that to them.
But
I didn't say me, I said you.
The tree folks wait for them.
your way, sorry.
Alright, we're on to the back nine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
back there.
There's 10, you guys,
There was one question on this hole.
this is gone, right? And
That one's not there anymore.
Yeah, that one's not there, that one's not there, correct,
So you're taking one out on 10.
yeah,
On
slide
the
down.
right side.
That one's already gone, the one on the left.
Yeah,
Oh, wait,
10
no, no.
10 and 5.
Yeah, see, that is, that 10 and 5 is gone.
This is gone.
So I gotta put that on the
This
left,
is
that,
still there.
that note is incorrect, where it says remove sandbar,
This
so
one.
it's already gone, I think that was the question,
So
that's accurate.
ten F four is gonna be a sod bunker now, like a.
No, just gone, like it was never there.
You're gonna level it
Just
out.
level it out.
What are your
Yeah.
thoughts on the second, 10F3? What are your thoughts on that one?
I just think that we need to, what we're basically gonna do here is take 3 sand bunkers and make it into 2. Simple as that.
On that, so you're gonna take, Oh, I see, I see.
The final design, I'm not 100% sure the way to look, we're just gonna take 3 and make it 2.
You need a bunker on F three, because otherwise everybody's gonna fly over that thing.
He's showing F2 is being removed.
Yeah, the one on the right,
Yeah,
we
this
can
one's
at
being-
least take
yeah.
that, you know, that side out, and then,
Okay.
you know, refinagle the other 2 a little bit.
This one's gone, that
So
one's
you have
already gone.
No more on the left, it'll just be the right side.
nobody really is there. on the left.
Yeah, the trees are enough of a penalty on this hole, you know, if you go over there.
Down on the right side, you can do some work.
You resod
Yeah,
here.
we can do a little bit there,
Some
that's
side.
fine, that's fine, but the bunkers on this hole are kind of cool, actually.
Yeah,
I think this is definitely, this hole has an original factor to it with that bunkering. Would I have done that bunkering to start? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, but it's there, so, and it looks fine.
That was number 1, way back in the day.
that's right, that was the first hole, was it open?
This one we have an opportunity to do something a little bit different too, actually along with 16 and 18. But it was 16.
16. Those
Yeah.
are the 3 holes, they're kind of putting some pop.
This is something that you can, or you can decide to do or not to do, I just think it was, we just thought it might be kind of neat. To give you a little more fairway in the right, you've taken a bunch of trees that are already out of there, right?
Right.
Right.
All those
These
trees
are
aren't there
gone.
anymore. It's just something a little different.
I like that because it's kind of a better angle into the green.
Yeah,
Make
you
it
get-
fairway.
We increase your fairway.
Yeah.
A lot of folks play from here, right?
Yeah, it's kind of a nicer way into the green, like you said, it's
There
you know,
used
the
to
way to
be
go.
trees where you couldn't do it, but now they're gone.
The risk and reward would be over there to get for your next shot, you know.
And they
Play it.
reach the tee here
I did from the
from the
tree.
from the line. No, the tee box on 12, right? Can
Oh,
they?
white, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If you hit it from a white, you can reach it.
From
Yeah,
the
white,
I
way
can
up.
reach it,
It's long.
Most people can't get there.
Yeah.
but you can. You can.
I pay for the right.
I don't know if you
Yeah.
can.
Like
But
the
the-
right side.
The fairway's gonna be more like right here, right, Doug?
Yes, fairway's gonna connect, it's gonna be just as it is in the plan.
Yeah.
Gonna be very, very similar to that.
So that won't affect 12 coming up, right? Play on 12 coming up?
I don't think so.
You have to be right of that.
Wait, wait.
I mean, honestly, most people are there.
Are there
But
anyway.
in fairway, I don't
That's what I
think it
noticed.
People
So-
go that way anyway.
Is this that sod will cost at 18,000 square feet, it's gonna be, $1.50 a square, it's gonna cost you some money to do this, so it might be something you should decide not to do. Which you could do, that's your option.
It's just more molten than.
I'm not telling you to do it, I'm just saying that for that. That design does pump this hole up a little bit.
So you're saying this is new sod, not just mowing it down?
No, that's all new sod, but new sod, 18,000 square feet of new bent sod is $1.50, a square
The
foot.
bunker would be in the middle.
I'm just trying to be,
Yeah.
I'd love to do it, but if you guys tell me we're trying to save 20 or 30 grand on this one, it kind. That might be a place that you,
It's like
you take it out.
50,000, right? We already know what it is.
We're doing.
Cause you know,
If we can cut that down a little bit. You know, not make it so wide,
you can do that too.
Yeah.
For sure.
you know, down, that's.
Change it a little.
Change it down at the beginning.
You can make it maybe 10 or 12,000
Yeah.
instead of 18.
Right.
Again, it was just a switch, just a slight change as we're going, as we're moving.
Is the bunker shifting left a little bit?
But right now it's staying where it is. I don't wanna reinvent the wheel.
It looks a little wonky.
Does, but
It'll be great when it's done.
Some
I
new
don't-
drainage.
Definitely need some new drainage here,
Yes.
without a doubt. All
I
right,
can't run towards the pond, away from the pond because it's, fertilization stuff.
This is gone.
yeah, that's
that's
not,
not there, that's
That's
removed.
gone, yeah.
The plan is to take this out.
yeah,
So
take,
what do you do, just make it a grass bunker or wasteland or
You
what?
can just leave, you can actually do a grass bunker if you wanted to, but, you know, or you can just kind of like level it off, and make it look like it was never there, that'll be kind of a field decision. But the right bunker, I think, should have a little more drama to it, so make it a little bit bigger.
They have trouble growing grass over on.
Oh, wow.
The tree, yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah, of course it
Is
is.
that gonna continue if that comes out? That gonna be.
No, we say because of the water, they get the water hit.
Yeah, but it's
So
sun
those-
too.
around that bunker is all.
It's all,
Yeah.
it's like roots, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the irrigation they hit it.
no, but it needs sun,
It needs sun.
to grow grass, right?
Well,
It's 10 hours a day.
there's that tree that's there,
Yeah.
right, and it's just a bunker there. I mean.
But with fresh topsoil, fresh sod,
Well, I mean, the
You'll be
water
fine.
hit it. It gets some sunlight,
Yeah.
he'll be all right.
yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that, well, G2. Left there because it prevents the ball rolling back into,
well, maybe we'll, like you said, keep it as a slight little grass hollow and, you know, to function that way, instead of leveling it off. So it's,
I see.
you know,
But
so,
then it's a tough shot to get it on that left side anyways, too, so. You
Yeah,
have to really pull it over there.
No, the
It
tree
happens.
stays, the
You
tree
gotta
stays.
really,
I mean, I don't
the
want,
tree
I've
stays,
seen people do
Maybe
it.
trim it a little bit, but it's staying.
and you got a chainsaw unless you wanna go cut it tomorrow night.
There's some copper nails and it'll be dead in a couple of years.
That's it.
What are we at? 13. They, someone asked about this, it's not really part of our project, you know?
Well, that was me, because,
Yeah.
oh, he's here with sod, I mean, what the heck, you got,
And
it's all
that's a
split
lot
up,
of
you
money.
cross that bridge. Well, you know what, you can save $7,000 on an 11,
If
Put
these
it over
bunkers
here.
were closer where we could kind of like in the other hole, we tied both in. You know, I'm just afraid, insurance is gonna look at it and be like, I thought.
what did you wanna do with there?
He wants, it's really wet there, so he's kind
Well,
of,
there's two things going on here, there's a lot of water over there, and you have a protected area to the left, right? But as soon as you come over that bridge, and you see the little stream there, as soon as you come over that
where
bridge.
is it? Oh,
Go
right
to your
there,
right, so go to your right, as soon as you come over there, there's a huge, that whole thing has to be leveled out. From the
Yeah,
bridge going up.
as soon as you stick a backhoe or something in there, you could be in trouble, at least, you know, the company might need a permit or something.
maybe we
for
do that when we do the bridge there.
If it was
Something
something,
still lit, I mean, it's just all,
if it was something where you could put drain pipe in there without. Putting a backhoe or touching it or redesigning it, that's something where we're basically just improving an existing condition. You can always say, we're just putting pipe, you know, we're improving an existing condition.
Right.
But
It
if
was never like
if
that
you start
before.
reshaping the bank and doing that, then
Well,
that's a separate thing.
this was all it was a wash away, that's
Doesn't
what
matter.
caused this thing.
That doesn't matter. As soon as a bucket or something hits it. You're not improving an existing condition, you're doing a new condition, basically.
There are pipes there. There's a pipe that's straining into the stream.
No, but our main project is a bunker restoration,
Yeah.
right? So you have to keep it.
Jeremy and his people could do that then.
That's
It's
another thing.
another project, that's all I'm saying. It's
I'm not trying
Yeah.
I'm not trying to want Jerry, but yes, that's correct.
But it all goes,
Wow.
when you hit it to the right side anyway, it all slopes to the left. It also really slopes to the left.
That could easily be a winter project.
Yeah.
You know, where you just, you know,
We all agree it needs work, like what kind of.
You
work
guys go
to
in
what
there and do it.
extent, You know,
Yeah.
And that's part of the cart path too, that's going.
If you bid that out, if you bid that out to be redone, then you're in trouble. If you just do it in-house,
yeah,
you have a better chance of getting away with it.
Right.
And you could probably, you know, You may just need some local guy with a little something and.
We have one.
They have it.
And then just don't tell me, don't tell anybody, do it, that's your golf course.
Right.
Off season, we don't have.
So I'm gonna sneak out.
Yeah.
Next meeting here.
Sorry, guys. Thank you, Ryan.
I know, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah.
It's in the rotation.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, 14, there's not much there.
There's
There's
nothing
one
there,
bunker.
there's nothing there,
Nothing there.
Yeah,
which is why we kind of need a little bit of drama on the next few holes, you know?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
think the last two holes are just kind of blah, nothing special.
15 is nothing.
we're gonna make this
I
small.
think that's smaller.
Yeah, that's gonna be a
That makes
bunch,
sense.
a bunch smaller, yeah,
Right,
be
yeah.
half the size.
15.
Yeah.
Keep going right in.
That second bunker on the fairway bunker, what
This
are your
one?
thoughts on that one?
Well,
Not a lot of people hit it there.
that's interesting.
That's not true.
Do you say maybe a remove mark?
It's a long ball.
That's
not cool. I've seen people in their side shots.
Just, yeah, put a note on there, that's
Well,
possible.
but those people shouldn't have a lip like this. Yeah, I'm just saying. That bunker is a very penalizing bunker because the trees are now starting to overhang on the right side.
Right.
To where now you gotta hit it high, shape it right, left, it's a hard
Yeah,
shot.
I understand.
Right.
So you
Take it out.
They can say it could go out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely,
Get it out.
yeah, there's gonna be a trade-off for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So with that
the
change,
square footage.
The view of the hole up?
No,
You
I
can't
don't
see
really
that.
think much, yeah,
No, it's not from the
there's a
tee.
lot, this hole has a lot of topo.
Actually, I didn't even see this from the tee. The one time.
Barely,
Yeah.
you can see the banks, that's all you can really
Yeah.
see.
Okay.
Which one's coming out?
the
just-
second one.
I mean, I.
Well, we'll look into this, but
We'll look
Mark
into it,
suggested.
I won't guarantee it, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
somewhere we can save a little money,
Yeah,
and
that's not it. That's
fine.
two.
Alright. Walk me through this one.
So here in this area here, Doug asked Jerry to make an area where we can take sod out and use it, so you'll see that area is very lush right now. And we're gonna use that for sod for this project. But someone asked why we're making it two.
Again, I just think that it's honestly very aesthetic. The aesthetics will totally change on this hole.
Will we see them from down the bottom?
Hell, yeah. You'll see them.
Okay.
You'll see them, for sure you'll see them. And they, plus, if you look, if you're in them, anywhere you're in them, you're pointing right to the flag. So you have tons of room to get out, it's not like we're doing like right now the bunker you have is kind of shallow, you know, you don't have a lot of room front to back. Now we're twisting it to make it a little bit easier to get out of, but we're just making this one into two, so in this case, yes, we're increasing the bunkers on this hole. But I just think it'll look awesome. We've done this, we do this all the time at golf course, we do this stack system with these bunkers.
How long of
They
a
look
shot
great.
front of them would it be to the back of the green? Like if just, how
Here?
many yards, if the pin was back and you were on the front edge of the bunker?
I see.
It's not
How
that bad,
long is
it's not, it really isn't that bad. We're gonna put these, I wanna put these as close to the green as I can get.
Yeah.
In general, I don't mind if, you know, if I'm on the edge of the green. Two giant steps to start the sand, I mean, that close, I'd like to get them.
Yeah.
You know? Enough so you can, you know, get your mowers by, everything's fine, but the bunkers are too far away from the greens, it's really hard.
Yeah, you're right.
But a lot of that is designated by where your sprinkler heads are around your green loops. You know, so I don't wanna rip out all of your, you know, irrigation loops. You know, if I don't have to. Well, I'll push them in these bunkers, all these bunkers are get as close to the green as I can, closer. It's silly when you have, there's a lot of golf courses, when was this course built? Okay, so we're just getting away, but a lot of courses built like in the sixties, a lot of the old Jeffrey Cornish courses you built in the fifties and sixties. They're still using gang mowers, just dragging them behind. A lot of them were like 30 feet wide, you know, with these big gang mowers that mowed the rough. So you had 30 feet between the bunkers and the green, because these things would just go around the bunkers and around the greens. They didn't push them up, and it drives me bananas. You see a lot of old Jeffrey Cornish style New England golf courses. They've still kept a lot of those bunkers like 30 feet away from the green. It drives me nuts.
It's a harder
That
shot.
makes it so much harder. I mean, you hit a pretty good shot, you get out of the bunker, and it's doing 30 feet of rough before the green, or 10, even 10 feet is too much for me. I like those two giant steps.
Would this increase the price for maintenance? As we, the mowing
The time.
would be more difficult?
I mean, those two in that size versus the one big one,
Maybe a little bit,
yeah,
yes.
maybe.
Maybe a little bit, yes, in this one case.
But this is kind of our signature, you want.
I agree, so if you don't spend an extra 5 minutes on this, with mowing, it's worth it. In my opinion. Again, everything we're doing is opinion, so,
And there
we're all good.
new opinions on bunkers being taken out from tonight, so maybe you take out from there and, add this one.
Yeah, we just took one out, possibly on the poll previous,
Yeah.
so.
Right.
on
Yeah.
15.
What have, it'll all balance out, I'll make sure it does.
15G2 is gonna be smaller.
Smaller, yes, that's definitely smaller. We're going what is it now?
If you
Yeah,
have,
it's about 30% smaller.
Good.
Yes, the whole, and in the front where you would go in,
I would like to open the front of that up more.
those have actually pushed back a tiny bit. So it's the front of the bunker that we're
Yeah,
gonna.
what about the back here?
can we do some sodding here if you have extra?
Yeah, we can, yes,
Gotta finish that off.
In this case, I think that's a good idea, because this way we're ringing the whole hole.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're 10 feet off, you're gonna be in the same consistent,
No more carts back.
you're not gonna be in.
We got a policy.
In grass and dirt that has,
I'm
bent,
with you, so
dry,
I'll back up.
fescue, all these different stuff, you'll have all the same stuff.
You're the one that knows.
No more carts back there.
I know, right?
No,
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
But no, but no, but the right side, a lot of people do try to go up on that
Yeah.
side.
I'm sure.
Because they get over there and because everything's
Yeah.
going to the,
Would
push to
be-
the left.
Well, then make your shot, go back over and go to the left.
Well,
Like Doug said, those bunkers are far from the green.
green,
So they're having them park far away
right.
and they don't want to, right? So
Mm.
when they're closer, maybe they can park close,
That's right.
Someone asked about this one, right?
There's enough going on down here on this hole.
17.
I find a lot of players are teeing off with us in the drive.
Always in that. phone.
That's a hard shot.
Yeah.
It is.
It's one of your hardest shots in your golf
It
course
is.
out of that bunker, if you're trying to actually par
Yeah,
it,
that's-
double bogey it.
How do they get over the creek after?
Figure it out.
Oh, you're gonna.
I don't know.
Oh, I like.
That one,
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind sitting going.
Yeah,
This
get
is
it out.
the pickup thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
here's the picket versus.
Right.
other.
Playability. is
If it was a short par
easy.
5, that would be
But
one thing, then I'd probably leave it, but it's,
When you look at the hole.
That's
you
a brutal-
think
that's a
it's straight
150
the
yard
whole
shot,
thing,
right?
When cause you can see it from the tee.
Yeah.
When you're taking a picture,
yeah.
I'd rather the bunker be there or not be there, I guess.
It's just, I just think it's too hard, I just don't, I honestly, I probably wouldn't put it. A lot of times I think about this, where if this were a brand new golf course, would I put a bunker there in front of that giant hazard? No, it's a public golf course, we're getting towards the end, let's
Fastest play.
keep going.
I feel like this though, this is our signature hole. When people get up there, it's the best view on it.
Interesting.
That's just what I
I
feel.
wasn't thought about that way, yeah.
I mean, you aim at my house up on the hill and it's just, you know,
But if they're looking at the house. they're not
You gotta
gonna-
put your both foot in.
That is true, you do have a nice background in this.
I'm paying you way too much for lessons with that.
It's not really, it's not really the hole itself, it's more just, it's their background is pretty sweet.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I can stand on that tee and I like to take pictures of that tee shot.
And good holes have really good
Bunker
background,
coming
middle
out
ground and foreground, which you have on this hole. You definitely have
Yeah.
some drama.
So what would you make? You wanna remove it altogether or make it smaller, Mark?
I mean, I think visually,
You need.
I think it looks better with it there visually. I know
Right.
playability, it's a lot easier.
I totally agree with that, by the way.
It's just what do we want? We wanna pick our poison here. We wanna have a beautiful or beautiful hole. Or do we wanna make it easier to play? And that's the question everybody has to think.
Well, it's a public golf course, so you would probably want it easier to play to get anybody else. And then plus, that area takes a lot of water in it too.
The fairway is really wide there,
Right.
okay?
It
If you're
is.
in the bunker, you kind of deserve to be in the bunker.
Well,
Yeah,
I
like to
mean,
see it.
the majority of us,
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
I don't reach them.
Not that this matters much, but because we don't use that tee a whole lot in the back left, but I mean, I feel like that bunker is important as a line of a target. Kind of comes into play from down there for the blue white tee moves down.
Reduce the size.
We'll definitely.
I mean, think about that.
Put sod in there?
No,
reduce the size of the bunk.
Oh,
Make it
you
smaller.
know,
If you can save your money,
Make it smaller. Make it
I'm
smaller.
taking it out and
Yeah.
leaving it there, then you leave it there.
They use it.
I'll take a look, that's fine.
Make it smaller.
Yeah, just make it a little smaller, maybe.
Change the shape.
Yeah, you can make it smaller.
Fair enough.
At 18.
Maybe we were just
Yeah.
going full drama.
Get them out of there.
You're basically, with this project, we're given a chance to do something different,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I like that.
right?
And there's a lot of room up there to the right.
Yeah.
There's just trees that are, you know, handcuffing our creativity.
Yes.
Yes.
This will
So
also.
you're going into those trees, those
Yeah,
pines.
hell yeah.
Right here.
All right,
Oh, so the fairway. will
so
get a
the
little
fairway
wider.
bunkers to the right are coming out, right?
Yeah, you're gonna get a ton more fairway on this hole.
Yeah, so take the,
All right.
the two bunkers that come out there, right?
There's no
Yeah.
reason why this
Yeah.
hole it's so constricted, congested, you know, let's have fun with it. You're at your last hole.
You're
Also,
also,
that's my only question mark. How do the trees on the corner come into play?
That's what my.
Yeah, that's a good, I would not put that in that exact spot unless you can get to the green from the bunker.
Cause
I
I
agree
think
with that.
those trees should come out, like the ones that are really on the corner, because
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
a lot of people can't reach to where they have a clear shot. And if you put that bunker there, you definitely, I mean, the trees would have to.
And we could do two bunkers on the right instead of three also, and save a little there, that could easily happen too.
That'll save on maintenance, that's where I was coming from.
But we can do, why don't we do that?
They're not-
Let's do two instead of three on that.
That's the
How
pews,
far would
the
the
pews.
long one be? That would be my only thing is like, is that 200, 170, cause that's all. The shortest
I
one.
can't remember, I know.
Which one you talking about, the F8?
Like how far from the hole is that?
From the hole,
Which
well, you got, that's,
First smaller.
this one,
F1?
that would be like here, I think.
that black dot in the middle of the fairway
Right
is
here?
250 from the tee, so you subtract.
This one.
And that's from the back tee, so that's probably 150. So
Yeah.
you're 170, 175 probably from that far right.
Right.
150's like here, right?
It's at that black dot. It's
He
almost
pulls them up.
400.
Yeah.
It's at the black dot, I think that sounds right.
Yeah.
Mark, he's F2, he's moved up, so they're up at the.
They're up.
If I'm reading this right, those trees that your target's up from the fairway all the way straight out.
All-
It's right from the bunkers, right?
Yeah, we're taking all those trees
You're-
out.
You're clearing those trees out,
Oh,
the ones that are ahead of F2.
Yeah, every tree you see with green on it is all suggested to come out,
Right. Like these.
which is
three.
basically the entire inner row there.
Those are coming out, all right,
Yeah.
got it, and then it's up ahead, so right around the.
Right
corner
over here, yeah.
Yeah, we're increasing your fairway by, 30%.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
'cause
would
that
be-
fairway's way. too
Just don't go in the
tight.
bunkers and you have more room to play the hole, and it's prettier.
You also have a sinkhole in that fairway. Believe it or not, there's actually a sinkhole in the fairway.
Where about?
Where?
To the left side, it's probably about 3.5 4 feet by 4 feet, there's a sinkhole in there. So you have to, yes, you get a good shot, you have that sinkhole, that new bunker to the left.
Yeah,
What Mark is saying is true, and I pointed it out too, the trees are right there,
yeah, of course.
and then you have the range coming in, and people, I mean, that's the other part of the problem here, the balls are flying everywhere.
Okay.
Everything's shifting left.
Everything's gonna be,
from
Shifting
that
right.
Or right.
Right.
to
Yeah,
that.
I know, but you're gonna have, all the needles are gonna come down, I mean, it's just.
That bunker might be here, actually. Cause everything.
Yeah, the bunker's basically,
Some picture this.
the fairway, the existing fairway is actually going right through
Yeah.
the middle of that bunker, you can see that line.
Here's the fairway
That's the
now,
fairway
So
now.
where's that bunker gonna be on this fairway?
on the left side of the fairway,
Where, show me where it's gonna, what you're intending there.
here.
right in that area.
Okay.
Yeah, that bunker's right there.
I thought it was gonna be up for us.
Yeah,
you
gotta find everything right.
Yeah, if you drew a line, yeah, right down the middle of the bunker, that's the left side of the fairway.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah,
So basically, it's gonna open that, it's gonna give you.
but it's a risky reward for the A player, if they wanna carry that bunker, they deserve it, good for them.
It could be a bigger dog.
So it's a
Yeah.
good, it's a good hole for them.
It's gonna force you to go right more, which takes you away
Exactly.
from the.
I kinda like the idea of making that.
You're walking away from the right.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if I'm playing, myself, if I'm playing from the gold tees, I'm hitting it to the right, and I'm blocked out from the trees.
Gold sheet.
That's one of
But you play from that side, yeah, but them trees do block you.
Yeah, cause you're gonna be forcing it out here now,
Exactly.
cause the fairway is here.
Right.
Can you go back to the previous hole, I just wanted to see one thing.
17?
yeah, you go by, see the T area. To the left of the T, you have a giant dead zone,
Here,
Yes.
or
a
here,
giant dead zone, which is something that you could utilize. For a whole short game area, or an area for the pro to teach kids. Like if you built one or two greens out there with a couple of bunkers, you know, at some fairway, you know, rough fairway. Then you put a bunch of mats maybe out to the side, these kids could maybe play. A 6-hole course from these mats to these two greens. There's a lot of creativity you could do. That is a dead space. You guys put the kibosh in that awesome spot that the range could be in, you know, at the bottom of the parking lot. So at least this could possibly, you know, exploring this, you know, dead triangle.
You just have to take out that left tee.
I see that more.
We don't use it anyway.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, you take the left tee out, you have tons of room and it's safe. It's, believe it or not, there's nobody hits their ball.
There's a lot of rock and tree in there, but
But nobody hits their ball in that area, so
No.
it's safe. And it
They
could be
do
an
they do
area,
on 18, I can guarantee, I know people.
it could just be an area that gets the youth and gets some people over here to practice more. Somebody might come after work just to go over there with a bag of balls. And then have dinner and then you leave, and everybody, you know, everybody's benefited from that, father and son, or mother and daughter, whatever. It's just a dead zone to think about if you want to explore that as a future possibility. If you wanted me to explore it as a project, I'll do it, you know, and if I'll put a price tag on it and say if it's possible or
What
not.
about the old tennis courts where the.
Yeah, I kinda like that idea better.
Yeah.
But I started thinking about.
Because people have to get out there, they have to.
I know, you're gonna have to.
Anyway,
have a hard pass.
that's
So you
a
will
thought.
have-
Yeah, no, not.
When-
Let's put it- go back to- put it-
Yeah,
Yeah, remember, everything's this.
It's all fun.
Uh,
Yeah, that's probably at least $250,000 to do that thing out there.
And so what are you doing to, alright, so I understand completely what you're doing now. You're widening the fairway to the right,
Heck
all
yeah,
the way down.
all those trees are
All the way
gone
down.
too.
all the way down,
right?
yeah,
All those trees that you just said Saul's doing that on, they're all gone.
most of it's gone probably,
Yeah,
from this picture.
that's almost gonna.
Well, you gotta keep some,
Oh,
yeah.
those trees,
keep it safe from 16.
These
Short
are-
of the bunker.
16.
And what you doing
Gone.
Inside then.
You
inside the
see
state?
this area? Whatever trees are in this area is gone.
Yeah,
You don't have room to make.
you won't miss them, you won't miss
Yeah.
them, you won't,
They're not even used right now.
you won't miss them,
That's a
I
Dead
guarantee.
space over there.
That's space,
Yeah, and it's pretty big, but
Yeah.
it's used for, nobody even really.
So again, I think there's a nice healthy balance where we didn't go crazy on the front line, changing a lot of stuff. But we did go a little nutty on the back. Yeah, I think 11, 16 and 18 are greatly improved. And like I said, it's nice to have your back nine be have a little more drama than your front.
Sorry.
Especially the ones.
And you're
that keep
spending,
parked.
and you guys are spending a lot of money on this project. So what do you, so just spend a little bit more and get a lot more.
What do you? You've seen this before, so ballpark, what do you, if you had to look at this saying. Based upon what you see here, what's one of the prices that we should, you know, the estimates coming in?
Your bunkers are gonna be, you know, at least 15, the minimum of 15,000 each. That's pretty much it.
One there, one.
I'm figuring, for the whole project.
And then you're gonna-
say.
And then you have, we have, you know, 1,000 feet of pipe, of drainage pipe, probably something like that, which is about $20.
So 1.2 million in that area is realistic,
How many
1.5.
bunkers? How many do we have? How many bunkers?
Is it 51?
Decent, we're bringing it down to about high 40s.
So let's say 50. 50 and 15. Plus drainage, plus some extra little this, all of that. I think we've done all that stuff.
And labor, that's the thing, the
Your prevailing wages,
prevailing wage,
prevailing wages.
You don't have, we have no
that's
choice.
why.
I know you have no choice. That's totally fine. A lot of people have that.
I think we talk like around 1 to 1 to
1.2, I was
something,
actually figuring 1.3 to 1.5.
I'm figuring that too.
something there, so.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get these bids, we have to talk about these revisions.
Well, you know, I don't know how much money you guys actually have. That's why that's why we did it the two ways.
From the town manager, we're gonna do it all,
Well, obviously,
but
whatever,
how much that is,
we gotta
that's,
back into whatever money you have.
thinking, we're tolling
Well,
around 1 to 1, 1.
We're talking about bonding too, right?
Yeah.
And then we're in a good situation right now. We have been for the last couple of years, but even this year, there's a lot of money coming. I mean, we're very profitable. So then now, you know, Sal and I, and even, right, I'm talking about setting up reserves. So you also have a cushion, because it's not only this, it's bridges. it's a barn,
Oh, I'm
it's the
sure.
clubhouse, right? I mean, those are the four things that have to happen. And because it's been neglected for so long.
Yes.
But if you get this project around 1-2, I think it's done.
That's fine.
So what's the time frame to get this completed? Once you start?
It depends what time of the year you do it, you know, whatever you guys tell me, like I said, it might be getting a little too late to get it, to squeeze you in to get it all done this fall.
It's either fall or spring, you think?
Oh, but I think we should bid it where you can do the whole thing in the spring, but then you start.
I don't want this-
I don't think it's done by Memorial Day, and
It's-
stuff, like if this was a fall project, whatever, clean up, fix up, was a bad spring. Or at least, if everyone's gone by Memorial Day, everyone's happy.
If we get it out to the public in the next couple of weeks, you think we can get a fall date?
Possible, but I can't guarantee it, I can't guarantee you get more than a bid or two, and you need three, I'm sure, right?
Well, if we can only get two,
Sure,
get
you
two,
said it was great.
they asked for
But
three.
then, but it's like you said, if they started in the fall, right, and then you can come back in the early.
You can also start in the fall, if you did start in the fall, if you got someone to start late fall,
Fall,
right? Some of these winters, I mean,
It could be a nice winter, it could
snow this year.
Yeah, it could work
Yes,
out
it was
winter.
freezing cold in February, it was a bad, end of January to February was super cold. But stop, I mean, November, December, even into January wasn't that bad.
Billy Bunker's capillaries are different price.
Not really, no. I just like capillary better.
The capillaries, so if they're willing to pour concrete and add basically the antifreeze to it. And there's no effect to it.
There
That's
isn't, but you gotta be careful, you can't push it too hard, though.
They do that with foundations, they do a foundation.
Of course.
All year long, right?
Yeah. Yeah. As far as the Billy Bunker versus the capillary, I just like the capillary better. I like the lips handled much better on the capillary where we're tucking the sod over on the edges. But sometimes that Billy Bunker breaks down at the top, you know, not a big.
And how about
I think
not
this is
using
better.
steel, what do they call it, the waffles? Versus the silt fence?
Oh, yeah, I don't know, yeah, that was another question too. I don't know what that is.
They're biodegradable, right? It's the same thing, it's not like the.
Are those like the,
Oh,
what
what
is
did
there
they
another name
call
for
it?
them?
Might get, I heard called it something else.
What's it? I said that to you.
Like socks?
Yeah, but they're all biodegradable.
Well, you know what, we'll just get a price between the two of them and then we'll put it as a proved equal.
Okay.
Waddle things?
Waddle, that's
That's
what,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. Never used that. But it might be something else just renamed by a different manufacturer, I don't know. So we'll look into that. Does Jerry know that stuff?
Yeah. It's basically for like erosion, right?
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. I don't see a lot of, need for a lot of silt fence here in general anyway. I don't think you're gonna need a lot of it anyway.
The work-
Probably even.
It's so basic, it's just in the bunker, like, you're not going
Well,
outside.
so what is it,
If we were rebuilding your bunkers all from scratch and like taking out, and putting 3,000-4,000 square feet of sod per bunker. Yeah, you probably need a lot of silt fence, but we're trying to maintain. Well, probably 75% of your bunkers are gonna be built pretty much in place. So that's 75% of, you probably don't need any silt fence. These guys can go do 3 or 4 in a day, in a week. Cause I don't like to open up more than that many bunkers at once. Because they want to put the sod right back down as quick as possible, because if you get a heavy rain, tries to wash the stuff out, they gotta reshape it, we gotta redo. No, they want in and out with these bunkers. So therefore, you don't need a ton of, they're not sitting there where you would need silt fence.
Special sand for those new bunkers or?
Yeah. There's some good sand out there. There's what's the, was it?
Dunning?
Dunning, yeah, Dunning's sand.
gravel.
I just did it at Gillette Ridge, go over there and take a look, it's awesome.
They're using Dunning?
Yes,
Okay.
they just
If
did
you guys
that.
wanna go there, let me know.
They literally
Just did it.
just did the whole front 9. There,
Okay.
every bunker.
Who did it? Are you allowed to
Who?
tell us?
Well,
Who's doing their
the
project?
construction, yeah, Turco.
Turco.
Leave it, Turco Golf. Yeah, they're doing a project of mine, every year I'm using them for at least one project, but I've been with them for 25 years. They're great, you'd be lucky to have them bid this stuff, like that's how good they are.
we'll count on you to let us know what kind of quality these bids are.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
probably know what they
Or
are.
the QA alone, that doesn't go very, right?
Oh, no, I'm gonna be, you know, I'm gonna be making phone calls to get these guys here to do it, to get it, for sure. And you can. Yeah, you guys can do it yourself too, but I'll do it for you, for sure, that's my job. I want as many qualified bidders as possible.
Yeah.
I don't wanna get them all in a pre-bid walkthrough, so they all look at each other and they all know each other, they all know what each other charges.
It's
and
a
that's
small,
part of
it's
the
a small group, everybody knows everything,
It's a
so.
small, yeah,
right.
it's a
So
very
it's
small
what it is,
fraternity
right?
of-
Yeah,
of guys, they all know each other.
sure they do. They know
I do it
they-
to, I do it to them every time, I make them all stare at each other. I just. No, it's only fair, I'm their bread and butter, so,
Well, thank you very much.
yeah, no
Appreciate
problem.
your time.
So as far as like redoing all of this stuff, how do you wanna go about that? 'Cause I've already, you know,
These are all minor changes where I think we can make a.
roll
an
minor change
amendment.
where I think we can just balance it out
Yeah.
in the field. Really do, I'm not saying that just to be lazy, if you want me to change it, I'll do it.
Listen, just change it, just do it, because you have to present this again to PBC. This has to go to PBC, correct?
We're hoping to go there out right after the.
After this?
Which means if I go redo all the drawings to reflect it, okay, we're gonna take 3 away, but we're gonna add 3, we're gonna do.
Right.
And it's a bunch of work for me, I gotta redo the whole thing.
From what I hear, PBC is more concerned about what's outside of the drawings.
The PBC is gonna wanna know that the committee, that we are in agreement with this thing.
Yeah,
That's correct.
That's what they're gonna want, that's number one.
the drawings and the plans of the bunkers are up to us. What they're concerned about is like the rest of what's in the RFP.
They wanna make sure that we're on the same, everybody's on the same page, that's number one, they're all the ones, that, you have a committee involved, I know that's where they're coming from on this thing, so you better not think about a walkthrough.
Yeah, we're basically at a 50 plus or minus 1 or 2 bunker job.
Right.
type.
Yeah.
That's it, I mean, that's,
Yeah.
if you wanna keep it, say that in general, that's basically, come up with a number, plus or minus 1 or 2. Field decision,
Yeah.
it'll
But
wash
we don't want,
itself
we
out.
want another QC committee, I can tell you, that's what.
The one on the what?
Control, so quality control is gonna oversee this thing, so it's either by committee or however it's gonna be done, all right?
What's
And that's
your
what they're gonna wanna know,
phase 3 in
make
your
sure they're doing.
contract?
What's what?
What's part 3 in your contract?
Wait,
In your proposal to us, there's 3 parts, right?
oh, yeah, Mike, yeah.
Third part was being
Well,
on
right.
site, right?
Yeah, it's all super, it's already in there.
So. if
And
you-
my price, because you guys are, you know, a good client in the past, so it's like, basically half price, pretty much. Yeah, I am super, I'm sure if you got another bid, it was probably almost double mine. If you, just to be fair.
Is
So
there,
once it starts, right, he'll be here, but also myself and Jerry, you wanna make a committee? Go for
We're
it,
gonna have to.
We'll have a little fun, yeah, let's fun with it.
make one up.
Just
I
no,
mean,
no beer in the course, that's all, don't worry about that.
Is it just
No, I
a
ain't gonna have
commission?
No
or,
fight, no
you
fighting.
know,
well, that
No
was my
bad feet.
question, is there gonna be a liaison between him and the committee, or, you know, someone
Yeah,
that
two
represents the course?
I don't want more than 2 or 3
You.
people.
That's it,
And the
that's it,
PBC.
Please,
that's it,
please, no, no.
that's it.
Right
Two or
now,
three.
in the RFP, it has him, myself and Jerry. And but PBC is gonna want in there.
And they're gonna want, they're gonna want somebody from the commission,
Yeah.
at least 2 people from the commission on there, I'm just gonna tell you.
From this group
Yeah,
or from their
sure.
group?
Here, and then.
Go with 2, that's fine.
Make, like I said, make.
Right.
Email me.
We'll figure that
So what's
out.
that?
That's fine, that's no problem,
So the
I'm
quicker
easy
we
going.
get this done, the quicker, the better everything moves fast.
That's,
So that, so if you wanna be on the gym, or you take somebody else with you and call it a day.
But-
I mean, we don't have to.
I need you
We'll
guys-
figure that out, we'll figure that out.
You guys-
Did you go in there now?
that
No, you
it's
can-
gonna be these minor changes that we talked about in here tonight.
yeah, no one in this room is
No,
yelling at
they-
me
they're
or whatever,
just
so
fine.
I think we're all in the same page-ish.
That was fun.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I agree.
I think everything's.
Yep.
Well, tell you what, this is being recorded, let's just go around the room, right, and for recording purposes, so based upon what everybody's here. Right, on commission, and as a vote, Lucas is not here, it's irrelevant because he doesn't play golf, so
Right.
as far as I'm concerned, that it's a moot point, right? From what you've seen, Lori, questions and observations, and you know, is this a go?
Yes.
Say,
Go,
Rob,
absolutely.
Jimmy Green.
Go.
Go,
Yes.
go, unanimous then, unanimous, fine. Good.
Mark?
Mark doesn't have to vote, yeah, go.
I will say, I'm glad I came, because I don't think if I was here, we wouldn't have gotten, we wouldn't have done this.
That's why Zoom wouldn't work,
Yeah, so,
it wouldn't work.
yeah. So.
You gotta keep
We
seeing now.
need to make a
We
meeting.
can finish our meeting, but do we still need, he lives far away, so we don't need anything from Doug.
Well, you live, New York, the problem is right here today. Where in New York? Westchester.
What-
I live like 10 minutes from Eastchester. Well, last night I picked up my girls at Logan Airport at 10 at night and drove home.
In Boston.
Yeah. Oh, I've driven like 800 miles in the last 3 days. Listen to my voice. What's that?
We got sleepy. Gotta finish the meeting.
Say that again?
Sleepy Hollow.
They got things to do.
Near place Sleepy
Oh,
Hollow.
yeah, yeah.
But then it's okay then.
Oh, there you go.
I think he's played everything.
I played a lot. There you go. All right. I got you. So guys, I give you,
Thank you.
you got a special golf course. I really think it's amazing.
Right.
Like I said, the most important thing is to get those sponsors just dry.
Sooner we get it done, the better off.
Thank you very much.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Anything you need, just let me know. Yeah, I'm happy to work with 2 people here.
That's all we need on right
You're
now.
welcome.
You know.
Thank you.
I'm going all the way from just to hang out with her on the.
All right, Sal, you go to PVC or no?
We can finish if you want.
Well, we can go to.
Yeah, they just
Pretty
started,
quick.
so I'm sure they'll be there for at least now.
All right, you know what, I mean, let's one more. All right, audience citizens, us, we have none. So approval of minutes, let's go quick. Has everybody reviewed the minutes? Any questions? Any edits? No. I have somebody make a request to approve the minutes for the May 15th.
I make a motion to.
Setti, second by Nancy, all in favor? Aye. All opposed? No, unanimous, very.
I wasn't
Great,
late.
all right.
I wasn't here either.
2 people recuse themselves, there you go. Okay, old business. Landscaper in the clubhouse.
We started, mulching, flowering, giving around the course.
Looks pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot to do, but they, with the part timers here, it's easier to get stuff done.
Good. Good.
On the on the right side of the parking area, doing that where the tent is, we fill it in there, cause that's.
Yeah,
one of the fir-
it's in request where like they grill. Are you talking about where like Runzie and them grill, like in the back parking lot there? where
Well,
the hand-
that, but also right along the tent and the parking lot.
Right.
There's weeds
back-
in there, and that's the first thing people see.
Oh, to the right, when you're walking up,
When you're walking
Yeah.
up, that's right.
right and left, yeah, got it. Yeah, those aren't weeds anymore, those.
Still waiting for a railing.
Okay, some of this stuff is yours, Bill, so
Yeah.
plenty memorial
Little
benches.
Memorial benches. Well, they came up where, okay, the birds, I know you can't do too much about the birds that fly in, but some of them have like lichens on them and stuff, they can clean the benches up.
We
Here we are.
clean it when we bring them out. But I know in the past, us in the commission here, we've talked about trying, when we do these bench donations, we're not trying to have work. You know,
Right.
so if it's last on the list. It's gonna take a while.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
no,
know.
I understand, gotta get the course.
I wish we could do our volunteer program where we did this last year.
Right, yeah. Well,
So maybe I'll try again
So,
with the new with the new town man.
so the benches that we put out there, the benches that are out there, they've been donated
Yeah,
from a family or somebody, right? And I just feel like because of maintenance, I think the family of somebody should take a day or two to come up there and clean the benches off.
can't, it's a volunteer thing.
But what, and
It's
it's not,
like,
it's not being a volunteer, it's that, I think if you put it there, if you want it there, I mean, you should have some, if you feel like it's dirty, so.
Yeah, but they paid
Yeah.
for it.
They pay for it, but now you push it on maintenance.
in
I thought
reality,
maintenance was included in the package.
we won't be
Going
having
forward,
them, but
going
that,
forward.
we just started that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going forward.
but. I get it, I mean,
Alright.
we should do it, yeah, maybe, we should do it, so let me just put it in there, under their attention and see
Okay.
where it goes.
can I mention something on that? So that will kill that. It's like 30-second clear, they call this stuff. You know, they just go up with pump sprayer, spray it, and then wash it, hose it off, and
Yeah.
it does, it gets rid of it, it gets rid of all the mold. So I've done it too. There's another stuff you can put on the roof called something ox, I'll get you the name of it, and it does clean all the lichen off, and it's all biodegradable. So that's an interesting thing.
Crud cutter,
I'm sorry?
crud cutter.
Maybe, I don't know, something, it's gotta be something similar to that. You throw it on your roof and it works.
I
Right? It's
just-
all biodegradable.
I just power washed my house and all I did was spray this stuff on and then power wash it and it just.
It comes right off, right?
It comes right off.
Yeah.
It came out beautiful.
Yeah. And the key is biodegradable, so
Yeah.
it doesn't affect, anything on that one. Broken T-bins,
Yeah, I was asked to bring this up. To the commission, and they're asking for. Little bins by the tees where you can take the broken tees and throw them in there and
instead of banging them into the ground like these guys do.
clean them up and make the place
Do they-
a little cleaner. I don't know, I got 3 or 4 tees. T-box, it's a lot of these, okay.
You don't put one
multiply
on your
that
goal.
times
Yeah, that's
18,
all what it is.
you know, what's it,
R3.
80 of them, I
Just
Whatever.
Even if you just do the par threes, that's
That's.
40.
That's right,
Oh, yeah.
that's right, 400, that's right, because it's every one of them,
Yeah,
4 times 18.
that's
I
correct.
think, yeah,
No.
whatever, if I did my math right, but. If you tell me, you want to,
No, you're gonna pay for them, you gonna pay for them? Are they got,
Nobody offered to pay.
then have the senior men, if this guy really wants, they wanna deal with it, then hey, you know what?
I mean,
Listen,
Yeah.
You have a good carpenter, if they make something, they can just put it out there.
but
You know anybody in the senior men that's a good
Well,
carpenter?
actually, it wasn't the senior men that asked.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I have to, you know, it's no. Like, out on golf course, I don't, because both of your tees are plastic now, they're not.
Yeah, I just play.
They do break. Plastic do break.
They do break.
Strong.
They break.
Yeah.
I can try to make them brown, but kinda hurts me, but-
Yeah, well, yeah, and the par three, but,
Yeah. Anytime to tee that big into the ground, I don't know what they do. Alright, yardage lead,
I'll get one, I'll get number 4.
You got number 4?
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'll get one,
okay, for number,
I'll get a yardage legend for the driver.
I think it was already done somewhere, right?
We shot it the other day, so I just have to order.
Alright, fine. Alright, new business RFP that's done, right? We're
Yeah.
through that one.
Yeah.
We're good. 2 is mine, time to complete work, I mean,
Like 5, left side of 5, left side of 15. We're finishing our training with this new
you got a new machine, right?
Mhm.
I saw, is that the one that was there today? The guy was. This is, it looks a big orange
Honestly,
thing, a
I
red
didn't
thing.
take it down there today, so I don't know, but they're finishing their training up so they can dig into these ground.
Well, that'll
And,
save us
um,
money on the long run from putting
Oh,
aside,
yeah.
you know what I mean? If they can do that and bring in the dirt and do it themselves, then that's fine, but.
Yeah. Even the tree stumps, we have a grinder now,
Okay.
Really?
yeah.
Oh, good.
So if we get, like, listen, we got what we got, but going forward. We we bit off more than we can chew.
Yeah. Well,
We just gotta get it done, you know what I mean? And there's 2 schools of thought on that.
I always tell the gang, like, you have ideas, do it. Before you forget it. Right? But right now that they've started so many. That it's piling up.
Nothing's
Like
gotten
you say,
done.
right?
Nothing's gotten done.
But that's why we're investing in these equipments, so they can get proper training, get more skills and do it in-house. You know, like
And that's fine, listen,
Doug
that's
said,
fine.
A lot of these things, maybe we can do in-house, like on 13, right?
Yeah, I mean, but what I'm trying to say is, let's finish what we have before we start new
Right.
ones.
Right.
Listen, just make a list.
It's,
Just make-
it's,
just
right
bring
now,
what we got
we
and then
have
go forward.
5, we have 16, you know, we're doing some stuff for the Niners. So we have like a circle of projects we're finishing, and then we're gonna move on to the next one.
Fair enough.
But 5, Jerry told me within the next month, cause they're gonna finish their training.
Okay. Season pass refund.
I got 3 due to medical issues. And 1, Harry Gugman, 2 is Norm Marginelli, and 3. Nancy Berger.
Alright, and then, and so what do they want? They want a refund or they want to apply to next year or they want to?
The town is better with the refund than a credit for next year.
Now, what's the cutoff date? And
It was this month.
it's what's
We
June?
have to do it by the end of the-
July first?
Yeah.
Alright, so it's July first, and what, you can take off the rounds that have been done so far?
We could, you
Well, you
know,
have to, you can't
I
take the full
look into
refund.
it and see a prorated rate, you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, you have to
That's
give them
what
an account,
they usually do.
that's what we do. It's
That's
not,
what we all agreed to,
yes, it's not a full refund,
Okay.
so you take off any rounds that they played.
but it's the rate to their respective category.
Like
That-
senior
Like
residents.
residents.
That's correct,
Yeah.
that is correct, that is
Right.
correct,
Okay,
yes,
everyone's good.
that's already been spelled out. No, there's a
Yeah.
policy on that
You
one,
can't.
that's already been
Mine
spelled out.
was one.
Yeah, there is.
So, we've already been down this road, so let's not reinvent the wheel, but yeah,
Right. But you guys, as a commission, needs to approve the refund.
that's fine. And, all right,
Yeah.
can I have somebody make a motion to approve the refund?
Absolutely.
You have to recuse yourself on Nancy, so let's do on the first two, right? Whatever they were, you know, based upon the policy that's in effect.
Yeah.
That they can get a refund, less.
The round.
Whatever rounds they played at the effective rate that they were in, correct? Have somebody make a motion to approve that. Jimmy Green, seconded by Rob. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? No, so it's unanimous. Okay. We have another one for Nancy Berger, who's on the commission, so she also recused herself from this. Can somebody make a motion to approve that refund? Jimmy and Rob, again, all in favor? All opposed? No, fine. Done, okay. That was simple. Whole 3 boundaries.
There's a house on hole 3. What was that, Southington Road?
Yes.
There's a house in the middle of Southington Road, middle of 3. That's got hit back-to-back years. Last year, a ball bounced on the road and hit a lady. This year, bounced on the road and hit a car, same house, same family. They're asking us to look into netting. They're asking us to look into some sort of option that maybe that can help.
Maybe how the tee boxes are faced.
Okay.
That's one way. No, these guys they should throw them down. So sometimes they face this way, they face that way. Just be more cognizant of that. I mean, it's like living on a golf course, right? You live on a golf course, you know your house is gonna get hit. It's just what you do that coming in, right?
Our trees there are
They're
pretty
grown
full.
trees.
Yeah, they're
Those are
pretty full.
Surprised one got through there on.
Yeah.
So you, yeah, they're pretty high and right, obviously, but in back-to-back years, same house.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody doing it on purpose.
Is it the same person hitting the ball?
I mean, but that's a long hit.
Well, to get a phone for that tree, that's a bad slice of it.
road.
Right, it's hitting the road for,
Cars have been hit.
Yeah.
yeah, I see.
So the only way you can do that is you would have to put a net up there. That would cost a few dollars.
Yeah.
No, that's
But it's like the boundary of the court, like the court, we own the course, right? But
Right.
then that's public.
You're right.
The roads.
Nothing you do about it. I
I
mean,
don't
it's
know
like,
if you can do anything.
no,
about that.
The
that's not.
state already cut trees from the power lines
Right.
from the last 2 years there, that's why they probably think it's not covered with trees. But
That's a
we'll,
state road.
maybe we'll do the
Where
tee
it
box
held
first.
I'm thinking about reshaping the town, not. Think about where they put the markers,
Right.
that's all, you know what I mean, don't, because you can tell on some of the holes, they're, where they face them, if you look at them, they're just kind of out of whack, I mean. That's all, try that.
But what he's saying, I mean, because where the tee box is now, right? So where would you put the tee
No, the
box?
tee box is gonna stay the same, it's where you put the markers and how you.
Where you face the
That's
marker.
where you,
Because
They
people-
don't face them to the road. Face them for the right way.
That's
The
correct.
Side of the fairway.
Okay, but that's still, the person still, I mean, you still
the
can hook it.
person can still aim right.
Yes.
You still can aim right, and the ball still can go that
Oh,
way.
Right.
Yeah, but it's about all you can do. I
Right.
mean, there's nothing else you can do.
I mean,
No, there's that.
Situation.
We talked about netting for the driving range and we bought that.
Nothing, God,
It's expensive.
yeah,
So
you
we
do
went to
the
the
bunkers
tree.
on netting, what are you gonna do, right?
Maybe we should tell the guy we'll buy his house.
Tell the guy to
Then
put
the
up a
net-
net in front of their house.
Nah, well, in all honesty. In all honesty, a lot of people, when they line up based upon that box, the tees are shaped, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
you're
so, You know,
We'll
in
try
some
to-
respects, it can cause part of that. So we'll just, I mean, that's your cheapest option. Okay, Timberland P and L fiscal year, and so I sent something out to everybody. And I sent it to Alina too, kind of showing where we stand. And, you know, thank you, Mark, for sending me some of that information, rounds and revenue. And solve for the expenses. And. Listen, you know, I'm looking at this thing, we're in good shape right now. You know, if I'm looking at this correctly and the numbers, they are tying out. Through May, we show a profit of approximately $93,000, right? And that should be lined up with basically what everything's coming down your pipes, right? And if you look at this thing, June is probably one of our most profitable months when we're all said and done. Right, so at the end of the day, guys, we're gonna be in good shape, you know what I mean? We are in great shape, so
when he.
now it becomes. Where are we gonna? We have to start thinking long term, and I keep saying to this guy, because, you know, listen, I'm not gonna be here forever, nobody is, but. We have the 4 projects that you have to look at long term, right? We have bunkers, which we started. Bridges will be the next one. Then it's, you know, a barn, because you're gonna have come up on a lease with your cards, and the 4th is gonna be the clubhouse. And so everybody says, oh, let's put this green over here and do this. And the clubhouse has to be scraped, let's just call it what it is, because we've outgrown it. It was supposed to be a snack shack, if we all go back and look at our term. You know, and this may not be in our lifetime, but you have to think about this thing, and then setting up reserves going forward. To at least show good face effort on our part. Right, in addition to whatever improves with me, you start saving money, and then the way it offsets a lot of the cost of, so the town is willing to bond as much as you think has to bond. And that's the only way we're gonna be able to sell it and do what we wanna do, so. That's something when everybody, you have to really start thinking about some of this stuff, look at the numbers. And we're in a good shape, and you're gonna hear people complaining about, and I'll just go, the elephant in the room. The number of tournaments that we have, oh my gosh, I can't play next week, and I told a guy today, and I I said, listen, here's what it is, you pick your poison, right? I mean, we've been self-sustaining for the past 6 to 7 years, right? Since we've been in existence, we've been self-sustaining, making money, putting money back into the town general fund. We're changing that now, right? We're setting up reserves, we're talking about that, we're doing what has to be done, right? Things are getting done, slowly but surely, but they're getting done, right? And it's not costing the town a dime, so whatever you see on Facebook, people saying that, they're wrong. They don't have the facts, don't let the facts get in the way, because people have no clue what they're talking about. We made over $500,000, thrown it back into the general fund. The town has not put $500,000 into this thing since, you know, since it's been open, if you think about it. So, going forward, we need to think about how we can maintain the sustainability. And, you know, I've talked to Mark about it, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I said, listen, it's a balance. It's a balance between the number of events that you have, the tournaments that bring in the money, right? And you know, because it's just like, you know, people complain, I can't play, you know, I can only do. Listen, you have all these days that you can play, right? I mean, how many tournaments are you gonna have? And you know, yes, next week is a bad week, don't get me wrong, because you have a tournament on Monday, right?
Monday and
You have
Tuesday,
the Connecticut
Wednesday.
and Wednesday, and is there no one on Friday or the Monday after that?
Friday.
It happens, it just happens.
June is the worst month.
It happens, so, yes, we have to suck it up, right, and kind of explain to people. You know, can we spread them out, you know, it's what we have to think about. So. It's not gonna happen this year, it's already done, but going forward, I mean, listen, it's not just showing up and going through this stuff, it's not, you gotta put the work in. You have to put the work in and think about this, you really do, you know, and.
And
It's
also,
long term.
and also the people need to understand too, when we have the tournaments there, it's helping them out. Too, because improving the golf.
We would have
That's
to
what-
bump the season passes quite a bit to offset not having leagues and
Right.
tournaments.
I explained that to somebody today, and I said, listen, your pass, call it, it's a gift. I said, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're a senior, right? I'm a senior, we're all senior,
Right.
no. We're almost all
No.
seniors, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's a gift, right? And it's not costing the town a dime, if you think about it. So be careful what you ask for, right? And
And
that's how
the easiest way to put it is, some of the passes we have are coming down almost $4 or $5 a that they're paying at the end versus an outing is $60.
got it.
Yeah,
Listen,
and it's just simple math.
Mark, I get it.
You
I
know,
get it.
no,
I get
just-
it. I get it. And I actually explained it to somebody today. And when I explained the whole long-term vision of what we just talked, I just threw out there. Nobody talks to me like that. Well, you know what? You don't ask. And it's from one of the senior guys. So you would have to, spread the gospel, dude. That's your job, right? I mean, if you think about it, that's your job, right? And it's just, get it out there and this information.
And just be straightforward with it,
Tell them,
just
listen,
gotta tell them like it is, I mean, because what you're paying for a senior tournament, senior pass here. You can't go nowhere else,
$600? What the hell?
That's not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
man.
Because I think Meriden took away their,
They did.
the stuff,
The
that
benefits card is
people
there
doesn't have.
and.
they don't have it. So
Well,
people that play on here, they should be.
maybe when we have weeks like next week, you open up the weekend for restricted members. If you have outings of 3 or 4 days out of the week, you let the restricted
That'll
members play
come
the
into
week.
play.
Well, then you have to worry about the men's club, right?
Well, I mean, not every week, but they could have a Saturday, not every Saturday and Sunday are both taken.
I guess we've never had a policy to limit the number of events,
Okay.
right? And maybe you guys can come up with something where you can only have 1 or 2 a week. And it spreads it out, but I mean, again, the way I look at it is I'm trying to make the course
Yeah.
money.
Listen,
And if I can do that, I go for it.
I get it, I get
I
it.
try to balance best I can, but I even told Saul at the beginning of this year, I said, this might be the first year where
Yeah.
it's like we may start hearing about it a little bit.
And we are, we're here, and as far as the leagues go, Mark,
Yeah.
you guys have done a great job because, you know what? It's guaranteed money coming through the door, right? The thing that we're changing, I took to Saul, I said CIP is up front and everybody pays, beginning of the season and midway, boom, there's no more pay as you go, that's done, boom.
Yeah.
Less hassle on his people, right? And it's in the contract, you know what, it's just simple, it's simple math, boom, I don't wanna hear anything, the starter doesn't have to deal with anything. It's all
Even
done.
inside, it's
And it's just-
is not as bad inside, I've noticed.
Yeah, but if we do that with everybody, the only thing to worry about is a cart, right?
Yeah.
But yes, this year, we're hearing about it, fine, so we think about this thing going forward, how many do we do in a week, you know what I mean, and that's fine, listen, we got jammed up this week, it happens, it does. You suck it up, you go forward, that's all there is to it, right?
I mean, again, if they wanna do it, I book it.
Gotcha,
Not
no, listen, I get it.
anything preventing that in terms of policies or anything, and look at the rev, I mean, it speaks for itself.
Listen, the rest,
So it's like, we gotta find maybe balance.
The balance.
On your end, if you want something different, I'll stick to whatever you guys.
this
Some of
year's
the
done,
outings be moved to like October.
What?
I mean,
No, you can't do
it's
that,
prime time in the summer.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Everyone wants it in the strike.
can't do that.
People, usually this is the way it works, if they wanna host at Timberland, the first question I ask for them, do you have any specific dates? And because
Yeah.
they usually do.
Yeah.
And, if they say I want June 20th, and I say, well, how about October 20th?
I stay late.
So,
Yeah, that's usually how the whole conversation works.
right now, there's only so many open dates, right?
Yeah, cause
Like, how much more can we ask?
There's not much more, and I
Yeah.
would, just that I told him this year, I was like, this is probably it. But the 3 in a week is excessive, and it kind of just like, okay.
But
that's
then
where I'm like,
there's a
fine, it's fine.
SWG, what's that?
Snooze.
So, yeah, and listen, that's,
That's why we.
and that's fine, listen, that's fine, to me, that,
We
I
have
look at
to
that,
hold, right?
and that is it's an honor to have that, right?
We have to host,
So,
right?
Yeah.
I think we have to host. Not have to.
we don't have to, but it's a very good thing to host that.
Listen, I agree, I
We
agree.
have a lot of, we have a lot of players support.
Yes, and that's fine, listen, and I'm all for it, I really am, because it's just only fair, right? We do the same thing for the CQPGA, that's fine, it's fair, right? That's all there is to it, and I think it's a good thing, so. You got jammed up once, it happens, right? What do you do?
Yeah.
You gotta suck it up and just. You gotta take it, that's all.
Yeah.
Right?
But I think going forward, a good balance would be maximum of maybe 2.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It can't be 1 because 2, I think, and again, June is the worst month, like, when we get to July, it's usually 1 a week, maybe.
Listen,
Right, that's
people
all.
on the
Yeah,
outside,
but-
right?
In August, same, it's really June.
Does
Yeah.
that give you
Yeah,
some
but-
flexibility if we limit it to?
I know,
I think so, because when we have that 3rd or even sometimes 4th event. I think I could shift weeks, where we only, like this week, you only have Friday.
Yep.
Right, and that's it, so I mean, it gives a little flexibility.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, we wanna keep the money coming in, I would think.
Yeah.
Listen,
Exactly.
we're in a good spot. Listen, you know what? We're blessed. We're in a good spot, right? And you read you've seen it. Everybody's seen this. Have read it? So when we update it, you'll know it's both seasonal and fiscal. And as far as rounds go, we're ahead of last year, which is another good thing. And it's been a bad month too.
I have a hard time believing that. I mean, the weather hasn't been that great.
No,
Well,
I know.
Well, that was
the
bad.
it's the guaranteed
Yeah.
stuff, probably the leagues and like.
The leagues in the court. I mean, they're current, you know, but
We're busy.
the numbers were
Yeah,
busy.
We're busy, man.
Yeah.
You're not there every day.
So
No, I know I'm not.
We're busy.
I have a question with revenue differences.
yeah, there's a
Saul
difference.
and Mark.
Yeah, there's a slight, and I don't know what. So you need to figure that out.
Maybe where they're getting their numbers, right? Cause Delaney could be getting it from another option from where you get it.
I mean, I go straight from the point of sale, but maybe when deposits are done, it's
Yeah.
what Delaney's getting, so there could always be that like if.
There's a time difference.
Like,
I don't know if it's the end of the month and you don't make.
Well, I don't know.
I
I'll
don't,
have to
I
ask
don't know
you
the town
Delaney.
end.
You're gonna
I'll
find that
send
out.
you a list.
Yeah,
I get it straight from.
because tell him it started,
That's
basically
right.
started in January.
Yeah. And it looked like it was what, more
It
toward
was for, it was.
rounds.
No, it wasn't even, it's just dollar figures. So the dollar figures didn't work because you didn't have Bremsey's rent in May.
It's all paid for.
Well, it didn't show up in
Oh, I
in
see.
your number, because your
Right.
number from April to May didn't change. Right, as far as the rents go. So it's like, all right, what is going on here? You know, and so. Like I said it to Ryan too, because I said, I'm trying to defend reserves,
Mhm.
right, and setting this thing up and going forward to say, listen, we need to think about these different projects. Just like I talked with you, both you guys out before before we met, and so, yes, we have 4 projects that are on the board. And that's what we have to start looking at and focusing on, and we're making money, so nobody can say, hey, you're not making money. Yes, we are making money, because there's some Facebook stuff going around saying, oh my gosh, you're not covering your costs, they're dumping money in. Listen, don't let facts get in the way, bud. Here it is. You know? That's the most frustrating thing, trying to defend somebody that doesn't know what they're talking about. But so be it. There's a ton of people out there. Open discussion. Is that, any other questions on the P and L? But this is actually, Alina has this. It's gonna go up, it'll be in the packet. Okay? All right, good. Open discussion. Around the board, Rob,
I'm good.
Jimbo,
Good.
Nancy.
Yep.
Bill,
I'm set.
I got one thing, can we just change the water for the towels? It's growing mold in there. Thanks, Savvy.
Yeah, talk about water, about number 10 and number 1, are we gonna? No,
I think the parts just came in this week.
okay.
But I don't know what to call it. This.
Faucets.
Faucets,
It'll-
yeah,
Okay.
they're gonna have the neck faucet.
Yeah.
Lord. Question. Hey, thanks for doing the bathrooms.
Yes.
I'm sure that,
Haven't used them yet.
females, I know people, even males appreciate that too, so thank you very much for doing that, they came out beautiful. And they're getting clean, which is a good thing. All right, T account sign hasn't changed, CIP. You got, well, that doesn't work out, the numbers you got there. Comes in,
Should be 2-1.
those gazintas, man.
200.
Did you get past that point in class? Gazintas?
The point is, we're getting it back now.
That should
It's come
be
back in.
2-1.
Should be 2-1.
21,000, right?
Yes.
Okay, it's in there, so, I mean,
Was this?
Gmail's been talking.
Yeah, I might have one.
so let's think about this, what do we need to do now to get some, how am I gonna say this, some of this stuff, if we start doing fishing some of those projects off, just those stupid little things. It'll make a big difference, and people are starting to see the difference already, but you start finishing that thing off, and that takes you, about a couple more notches.
Yeah, I mean, the number 2, we're waiting, we need CIP, so that's in the fall.
Yep.
Number 5, number 15 should be done, when he's trying to expand fairways, that's only his cutting where he cuts, I think by the fall, we'll be ready to restart some.
Clean up everything we've got to go
Like,
forward.
continue to,
So we gotta figure out what, I know it's not in the contract with this, but 2 going forward, you're gonna need a lot of fill. What
Yeah.
are we gonna do in there?
Well,
It really comes down
like he
to.
says, he we have a lot of fill here at the courts. So depending on how much he uses, if he has leftover, you know, he could have leftover sod.
I didn't think about Jerry, you growing sod on 16, that's a
Yeah.
great idea.
Yeah.
I thought, what the heck, you might as well use it,
We're
you know,
using it, so
it's natural.
there's leftover supplies that we can use for two going into the fall. So
Alright.
two's looking all right these days. There's I know it's just sand, but
But it's
it's flatter.
It's flatter,
you know.
it doesn't have that many rocks.
Yeah.
I ended up in it today, so.
Yeah, I'm always thinking about your thought.
I
Your
know.
ball, right?
Keep us
Yeah.
updated.
Yeah.
I got it out of there.
There you go.
Maybe on the old.
All right, we have, you know, two more, anything else on the CIP? An open discussion? No? Golf course report, I mean, I really didn't read it.
And it's very small, the course is really busy, we're very skeptical with the heat coming. On how much watering and hand watering we have to do, and if we have to do a bunch of hand watering, that's gonna take away. Staff from other tasks, so. Pray it's not 90 degrees all summer, is. You'll see that on the course, right now it's green
Yeah,
and lush, but in a couple, you know, in a month it could be
Well, we got,
brown again, you know?
well, we got rain coming in all this week, so.
That's why sometimes the rain's good. But we'll see, hopefully we don't have to handle it all.
Right.
so how about our irrigation system, Sal, I know I'm getting off track a little bit. I mean. To replace something like this, it's over $1 million, right?
I don't even know how to guess on it, but it's gonna be,
Well over $1 million,
Yeah.
right? So that's
No,
project
it's
number
not.
5, that's project number 5, you know.
that's where. You as a committee need to put that live document into play, like our long-term document. And just stick by it, like you always say, Jim, like, just. Go by it.
You gotta reprioritize things at times, and that's fine, you know, but
Yeah. I mean,
Really?
if you're thinking of clubhouses, imagine having a nice patio looking into the new holes.
Exactly.
wherever it's gonna be.
Where, you
It
know,
doesn't mean, and we have to get out of this concept of, oh, we have it right here. Because that's not, you know, maybe you get rid of that green and
Right.
that slope like this, and you put it over there, so it faces. Wherever, you know, the tee box or off into the sunset there, you know what I mean, going down 10 and or whatever. You know, and change that whole landscape up there. That way you can have a whole chip, pitch and putt type of deal, I mean. It's endless, but that's, you know, listen, that's not for me to decide.
But then again, too, down the road. Who knows, someone else could come in, they might invest the money in the building.
Well, they're not gonna send, well.
I mean, like they did over,
That's true,
wait a minute, they did over at Stanley's.
That's true.
whichever way.
It doesn't matter.
Start putting it away.
You gotta put it away, I
You
understand,
can't spend it anymore.
no, you can't.
This year, we have to put it away.
Right, so what we spending now, spend that,
Yeah.
and then start saving, put in the piggy bank.
Well, we gotta think about what we're gonna do, you know, in fairness to the town, it's like, listen, yeah, they're gonna bond some of the stuff, that's fine too, but. You know what, we can pay down what we can pay down, and it's just,
Right.
listen, and that way, nobody can come at you saying, hey, we're dumping money into here. Listen,
Yeah.
we're paying you back, you know what I mean, and. Then what's somebody gonna say, right?
They can't say
They
anything.
can't say anything. Right? And if that's the way we're gonna look at it, then.
So, like I said, we'll get this project done with the bunkers, and then we'll take another project. After we did this,
Maybe you keep throwing the money in there and it, you know, it offsets what the town owes and so, yeah, you're paying down the debt sooner, you know. I don't really wanna go into a special reserve fund, that's foolishness, but, you know, that you're, if we do what we're doing it, then so be it, so. Mark, you got a report or anything like that? you wanna throw out?
I'll just say a few things, first, I wanna give a shout out to the Berlin girls, they won
Yeah.
the straight state championship.
Unbelievable.
Four straight high school state championship, they were undefeated too. So kudos to them, and coaches and the players,
right,
And they won by like 30.
they won by like $1 million.
Yes.
So they're very good. I just wanna talk about the outings, I mean, I know we already discussed them, but, you know, Jerry, Saul and I, we've met. We discussed these outings, we come up with a plan for them, the course is in really nice condition. Remzi does his part in the restaurant, so. Everybody, that's why they keep coming back and we have so many, it's because we don't really lose a lot out of this, which is a good one. We started our mixed league and that's pretty popular. It's Friday nights. And then our junior program, summertime's all about the juniors and we have a lot of them. So to say the least. Trying to structure it so there's not too many at one time. I have coaches that are wonderful, they're doing a great job and the kids are having fun. And I mean, I appreciate the town support of the youth golf. I mean, it's kind of like high school teams.
That's right.
I've been there long enough now to see these kids when they were 5 and now they're winning state championships. Getting old, but we all don't really age, you know, but it's fun to see. So the town supports it and I'm not so sure other towns do. So that's a pretty special thing that we have. And other than that, I mean, we also have the women in wine clinics on Mondays, which are very popular as well. And just introducing a lot of new people to the game and hopefully, you know, the plan would be they start playing at Timberland, maybe they join an organization. We've seen it happen. I mean, I don't think it happens a lot because most of them are beginners and they're a little intimidated by the course, but we've seen some join the Lady Niners and Women's Club through that program. So yeah, just appreciate being able to do what I do up there. And like I said, Jerry Stoll and I, we met, we're working well together and I think we have a nice environment. That's kind of it unless anybody has any questions for me.
No, let's keep up the good work. Hey.
Yes, definitely.
We're fortunate to be in the position we're in. That's all I'll say, right? And we're very fortunate in that respect, so. Oh, yeah, all right. It's 7:56. Now somebody make a motion to adjourn. Well, seeing two.
Yeah.
Commissioner Green,
I gotta go do some work.
Think about Chris Lee. Well, you're adjourned at 7:56. Okay. Listen, that's not bad considering we had what we had.